with a dominating win over the Lakers at Golden One Center, defeating LA 133-86 behind 19 points from De'Aaron Fox in just 24 minutes. The Kings open the regular season at home on Wednesday against the Blazers. The NLCS is set after the Phillies dispatched the Braves in 4 games, and the San Diego Padres upset the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Good morning. And boy, do we have a weird camera angle.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know. I'm going to guess the look on Jay's face. It's something to do with, I don't know, is it the fishing shows? Did Kent Brown get in here again?
Those fishermen.
Jeez. You can see him. You're on YouTube right now. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Look at that strong focus. Yeah.
Locked in. Is it a golf day?
It is. I don't know. Can you see the pants?
Oh, I can't yet. Hang on. Wait for it.
I don't want to die.
On delay.
I don't want to die. I'm on white. Well, yeah, I guess you can't really.
Whoa, after Labor Day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no,
eh?
Hey, good morning.
What's that about? Good morning.
Today's Phil Oates' big celebrity golf tournament.
Oh, that is right.
Yes.
You are the headliner.
Yes, I'm the headliner. I will be, you know who my the celebrity in my group is?
Let's see. Give me some hints.
Okay, I will give you a hint. There's a member of my family that shares the same nickname.
Let me see. Jim Backus, Mr. Magoo.
It's a little bit of a trick question. It is a member of my family, not necessarily a child.
Oh, Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis, the bus.
I feel pretty good. I got that in 2.
You should, actually.
Yeah.
You really should. Yeah, playing with the bus today. So
nice.
I left the house saying goodbye to the bus, and I will be saying hello to the bus here shortly. Weirdly enough, not the first time I've been paired up with Jerome Bettis. It was like 7 years ago, and very, very nice guy.
Yes. Will he continue? Will he say, oh, he's my partner? Oh, he's
Yes.
my partner.
Oh, 100%. He won't. No, he won't remember any of that whatsoever. Yeah. Just so, Jason, explain to me, and by the way, public thank you, private thank you, but public thank you to you and Jay Mars on Friday, as if Friday wasn't crazy enough with all the shuffling and this and that, whatever. It was lame because, well, migraines are lame no matter what. And anyone who's listened longer than 10 minutes knows I've suffered from those for years, but this was my first migraine since I quit smoking. And it really bothered me, not just the excruciating pain, but I had kind of become convinced that my migraines were, as suspected, in fact, a direct result of smoking, or at least part of it. But they come in clusters sometimes. I spent much of the weekend, heard it, same exact place, and I mean, I don't joke about this lightly at all, but I would have thought there was something brain tumory because it was the same exact spot and a weird, different type of migraine at the base of the back of my neck. But I've had those exact ones before, and they went away, and that was a couple of years ago. So it was lame. And point being, as I started to thank you guys and then made it about myself. Thank you both for doing all of that. And did you? It's a prelude because what did you tell everybody as far as why you were at home?
We said the reason you were gone was because the fear of making Friday picks.
Does anybody remember how I did? I thought I did okay the week before, but I did.
You did. You were one of the better ones. You and me. I think we both did some damage on Dapper's picks, let's say, on the week before. But this week you had Elk Simone, so she tried to represent for you.
I hope she.
I don't think we said much. We just we just went on.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just keep it light because I don't ever know the rules. Jason's at home. I'm here for at least the next couple of days, plus Friday when Jason was home and I was supposed to be here. I'll just say this. It's a product of the modern times. How's that?
Yeah.
You guys can all fill in the blanks from there, right?
Yeah.
It's opening week. We have a ton of stuff to get to today. In the meantime, I'm happy to announce I don't have my sound effects because I had to clear that computer because it was sending malicious emails to the whole entire company, apparently. My mother-in-law moved in Saturday night. Yeah, it was great.
Success?
She's moved in.
Okay.
And I spent the whole time up building the world's largest, most luxurious, I kind of want to move in there, cat tree. And for her, because she's bringing her big fat cat up.
Yeah.
And I tell you all about the cat, except it came up in the carrying case. And it sounds funny. My mother-in-law is staying in the garage, but the garage is like we turned it into a whole room with like air conditioning and heating. And well, anyways. So she's staying in there. So we let the cat out of the cat box, the cat carrier, to, hey, here's your cat tree. Cat said, scooch, and went to the other third of the garage is kind of cordoned off that has like tools and storage. And we have not seen the cat since.
Really? Gonzo.
Gone. That was Saturday afternoon. They got there about 3:00. Gone. We know the cat's still there because she put out food in the litter box, and the litter box, like there was some litter all over the place. Apparently the cat really likes to kick the litter out of there, which is super awesome. And there was a little tiny turd that was out of it too. And the food's gone. So the cat is coming out. I even went out there while they were all gone. This is probably not nice, but I really wanted to make sure the cat was there. So I took a dust buster and I turned it on. And I'm going through my garage, like pointing it in little crevices, hoping to scare it out of there and then get inside. But I think the problem is that Gus had snuck into the garage right when we let the cat out. And I think that was that.
I just had visions, though, of when you told us the story of when this was happening, that since it was a NFL Sunday, baseball playoffs, maybe motorsports, that you and her just spent the day watching sports.
No.
Didn't happen that way?
No, weirdly enough, I did this a lot less since quitting smoking, but now I spend a lot of time in my backyard watching my TVs out there.
Okay.
And I'd be, really just to let Melissa catch up with her mother.
Okay, that makes some sense.
I did take some notes though. So we have her sleeping area set up, but both nights so far she's slept on the couch in the main living room, which is right by the kitchen. So when I come downstairs, I just see kind of her little head. She sleeps like sitting up, slightly reclined, right in the middle of the couch.
Okay.
And that's strange because when I get up in the morning, I kind of have my routine and it's very quiet and I'm waking up, getting coffee, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm trying to be quiet, which I don't like doing. I mean, I'm quiet for the kids and Melissa, but they're upstairs. I gotta be like tiptoe quiet. But she was awake and, hey, how you doing? Oh, it's 3:30. Okay. So that was neat. And that's still neat. And we can't do that. Like no, everyone has bedrooms for a reason. We're not doing that, but I no longer have any power in the house. Discovery, menu wise, Melissa did not grow up with the best menu in her or the most diverse menu in her household. I know this already, but apparently there's a new revelation that she does not eat beef, but loves to eat fish.
Huh.
And we have a strict no fish policy.
Really? Is this because of you or whom?
You mean as far as why do we have a no fish policy? I could go into graphic detail, but let me just say this. I abhor the smell of fish in my house.
Okay.
I hate it. I gag. I can't, and we're all kind of in agreement. You can't get it out of the house for like 2 days.
Right.
You can't. So, and her fish of choice is tilapia, which is like the most unhealthy fish in the world. But there you go. She wants to do tilapia nights. It's like nobody's going to eat the tilapia, and you can't actually have the tilapia unless
tilapia.
I
don't know.
Maybe it's tilapia. I don't know. But it's a disgusting bottom feeding gross fish. Read about tilapia. You won't ever eat it. But yeah, no fish. What else do I have here? Oh, there's a lot of, I'm learning the 4 magic words, which is I don't care for. I don't care for blank. What did we learn? She doesn't care for bat flips. She does not care for
touch bat slams.
Yeah, Reese Hoskins, baby.
Or running around the bases, whatever Josh Naylor was doing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one.
Okay.
Doesn't care for touchdown dances.
No fun league.
Kind of. Doesn't care for beef. Vegetables. Peas. There's one vegetable. Peas. One vegetable.
That's acceptable or doesn't care for?
No, that's acceptable. Peas.
Okay.
It's peas.
I mean, they're not bad. I just wouldn't put that in the top of the list.
And the other thing I gotta, as we go here, that I'm gonna really have to get used to is she's starting to kind of weigh in on stuff with the kids just a little bit, just dipping the toe in. But it was something. Avery's got a Halloween thing she's going to this week, and she has a wig with short hair. And I said something like, well, at least it's a wig. If you ever cut your hair short, very short, like my hair short, and I go, I'll just jump into a pile of hot lava. Please don't ever do that. And well, I think she looks kind of cute, actually. Okay,
you didn't ask.
I did, yeah.
No one asked.
Right. Let's play a game of who's the parent. I'll go first. But I say that because it's a radio show and we're doing what we do. But overall, it's great and super, super good.
I can tell.
It's
just started. We have no idea on the timetable here, do we? Never.
I'm going to tell you off the air something that I came up with over the weekend that I think you'll appreciate. But I'm going to
my call off the air.
I'm going to say about 2 months.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Said the guy. Said the guy on a Monday. Just remember, Monday, October 17th. Let's talk. Speaking of real estate needs, desperate real estate needs. Let's talk to my friend Shelby about my friend Shelby and everybody over at Refinancers. Shelby.com. Be great if it was SHELL-B. No, it's normal Shelby, but not normal his service and Peter's service and everybody over there, the whole team. They're just fantastic. And part of that is because they're local. They're local. I make it a point to put this in almost every ad I do. Because if you notice a common thread with pretty much whether it's these folks, whether it's like Cap Casino or American Energy, there's being local has its advantages. Hoblet, it's really about supporting local business. And it's not just supporting local business, ladies and gentlemen. It's also about the service you're going to get. See, when I send you to somebody local, I know that there's a chance their kids go to school with your kids. They'll run into you at the grocery store. They're not just getting in and out like you're just some number. They're going to take care of you. They have a reputation to uphold. And that's a difference. It really, really is. Why voluntarily be a number? Don't do it. You want to purchase a house? Great. They can get a purchase done in 17 days. Speed on your side. Part of the reason, they got a ton of banks they can shop your loan to. Get you the best deal. Oh, they know all the financial title companies. They know all the appraisers. They've worked with them for years, done hundreds of loans with them. Go to Shelby and check him out at refinancershelby.com. That's refinancershelby.com. NMLS number 279-051. BRE number 01864354. All right, we got a big show for you today. Matt Barrows, maybe, depending on whether or not he's traveling. We'll figure that out here shortly. We got college football to talk about, Sac State in particular. We've got the Dodgers and baseball and Kings and Niners. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's a big, fat, hairy Monday show on opening week, and it starts right now.
Let's do it.
It's time for Leading Off.
Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Second down and 10. Play fake. Garoppolo wants to line up another one middle of the field. That got broken up and intercepted. Jalen Hawkins off the deflection.
Yeah, whatever. This was so eminently. I don't know what Simone did picking for me on Friday, but I hope to God she did. She picked the Niners. Mm-hmm. I can only add. Well, you guys, I don't need you to trust me. You know I was picking on this game They all picked. I would have 100% picked the Falcons, not necessarily to win, but to cover. And that's something we were talking about all last week. This is I don't know if you even call it a trap game, but going over the fact it's a second straight East Coast game, which didn't bother them last year, but the Falcons are a lot better than people think. They're at least not bad. We looked at their record. We looked at their losses. We looked at who they lost to. They lost to the Saints by 1, the Rams by 4, the Buccaneers by 6. That this was a better team than you think. Now, granted, the Niners were playing second string a lot of the game, but getting doubled up by these cats, it's not great, Jason.
No, the long and short of it, this team has given up wins. This one, they lost. Atlanta deserved it. The Niners got off to a terrible start. Yes, they were injured, and the injuries caught up to them. But, Dave, I thought there were times this year that the defense could just win them a game, and I think the amount of defensive injuries showed up yesterday. And also, yeah, you're right. Let's give Atlanta some credit, too. I thought they played pretty well. I
thought they played very well. Honestly, and this just goes to show you in this year where we have Geno Smith and Jared Goff as two of the better quarterbacks in the league. Geno Smith is completing over 61% of his passes. He's already over 1,000 yards for the year. And I'm not saying he's on track for the Heisman or nothing, but I am saying that this is a guy who was a former number 2 pick in the draft behind Florida State's Jameis Winston. And yesterday he was it's what they needed, Jason. 13 of 14 for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. He just didn't make any mistakes.
Right. And you're right. That is exactly what they needed. It felt like there was still a couple of opportunities for the Niners to get back in. I know there's something, hopefully we'll talk to Matt Barros about that lack of urgency on that lengthy drive that they were trying to get closer. They were just off, and a lot of the credit, I think, has to go to Atlanta. But this one wasn't a throwaway like they did with Denver and Chicago, but a game they actually just lost.
Well, more on that later. Quite a bit more on that later. In the meantime, number 2.
Cut number 2.
And we're under 15 seconds to go. Kings will simply take the ball across the midcourt line and will dribble out the final seconds. So they started the preseason with a 30-point win in L.A. over the Lakers, 105-75. They end the preseason with a 133-86 victory over that Laker club. And Sacramento ends up with a 4-0 preseason mark.
Not doing it. Just not doing it, Jason.
Not doing what?
I don't know. Is there like a car where it's not on the train yet? Like I'm at the station. I'm at the train station and I see the train moving. And I'm like, it's like in Midnight Run when Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro are running after the train, like I'm not on the train yet, but I'm running alongside of it right now.
Okay.
4-0, average margin of victory, 27.5, 89.8 points per game. That's 11 full points better than the next best team. But the Thunder are 5-1. The Magic are 4-1. The Knicks are 3-1. And by the way, that second best defensive team, the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, but the preseason couldn't have gone any better. I think you can say that. Yeah.
I mean, the most important part is injury free. I know there's some health issues, but not injury related really with the team. But yeah, I don't know if there could be some sort of, well, maybe it's what you described at the station, but not ready to leave because, yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody if they watched the Kings and went 4-0 and they actually did play very well to go, this team is a top 3 seed. Like that seems a bit extreme, yeah. But I think you could watch them and go, it certainly looks better. And I like the way it's played out, but you're right, Dave. I mean, if they come out Wednesday and lose by 18 to the Blazers, I think all what we just saw over the last 2 weeks is irrelevant.
No, they got to win on Wednesday. They come out and lose their home opener to the Blazers. By the way, 1.5 point favorites, in case you're wondering. Home favorites over the Blazers. Yeah, they come out. I don't want to be here for the garbage fire that's going to be with everybody, especially since the Blazers are thought to be one of the teams the Kings would be competing with for a play-in. So cross fingers, Jason.
Yes.
Lots more. And I dare I say lots more on this throughout the day, including Frankie Cartoscelli is going to join us in studio here momentarily. Did I say Skelly? Skelly. At least I didn't call him Charles. Number three.
Cut number 3.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jay tried to sneak in the Yankees-Guardians final plays. Cut number 3.
Oh, I tried to sneak it in, or was that scheduled?
I mean, I see it. You
know what really chaps my hide about what you just did? What grinds my gears? Is they didn't put the Yankees-Guardians final call in the thing, so I had to go find it and record it and make the effort for it this morning, and here you go.
All right, you know what? That's a great point. Hold on.
He does. Garrett will have beaten Cleveland for the 4th time this year, and that is the outcome. After making all kinds of noise in the bottom of the 9th last night and turning progressive.
That's boring.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over.
Oh, gosh. I mean, other baseball stuff happened for sure, but come on.
The defending World Series champions lost, but we're not going to talk about that, are we?
No.
Jason's team has a decisive Game 5 tonight. We're not going to talk about that, are we?
Yeah, Mariners went home, got swept.
No, they were at home.
Yeah, they had to go. I mean, they got at least they got
an 18-inning game or 17 innings for it.
How long was that? We got to go. How long was that Giants-Nationals game?
Was it 18?
That went 18 as well.
I thought it was. Okay. So they got a doubleheader at the house. That's good for them. Oh, I've been saving baseball takes all year. I'm so into baseball right now.
Big baseball guy.
Huge baseball guy. We'll get to the whole show is probably going to be baseball and Kings with maybe a little Niners. I don't know how it's going to work out. But when we get back, hey, listen, college football happened. And stop touching the dial because the Sac State Hornets are on fire. And we happen to have the play-by-play voice with us as our guest in the next segment. Don't go away. We're right back.
When it comes to the Kings,
nobody has you covered like we do.
Cattles Rami joined by Keegan Murray.
The depth that we have this season, just the shooting, the playmaking at the point guard spot, and also at the center spot, and then just have guys on the outside being able to shoot. I think that's what I'm most excited about. A lot of guys here can hit shots, so that'll be huge.
The best Kings talk.
The flagship.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Good morning. Hey there. Jason Ross here to tell you about ACR Solar. ACRsolar.com is where you need to go to check out all that they provide. But it's ACR Solar and Roofing, also ACR Home Services. They do a ton of different things. Now, for us, where it landed, where the sweet spot was for us, was we needed a brand new roof. That's not a fun investment to have to go through because it's a taxing process. But it was made easy because of the great folks at ACR Solar and Roofing. So we had met with multiple companies, but ACR Solar was the one for us. When we talked to Joe, the roofing expert, he laid out exactly how it was going to go. And you know what? It went exactly as he said. I mean, that was beautiful. So his constant communication and presence in the project made it so easy and so smooth for us. We were always aware of what was going on. And then the actual results. Yesterday, my wife and I, we were doing a little Halloween decorating and kept looking around going, man, look how good the roof looks. It's just beautiful. The project's done. They were in, they were out, and amazing, amazing work. So now we've got better curb appeal, a brand new roof that looks great. Certainly with the seasons changing here and the uncertainty in weather coming up, we have peace of mind knowing that we're going to be in great shape there. All in all, it was well worth it. We are so pleased. And I know if you're in that need of a new roof at some point, the name you need to know is ACR Solar. So go to acrsolar.com.
For 74 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and, well, many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 74th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Celebrate the start of the fall season with the official tire of Major League Baseball. Hankook Tire is offering up to $100 off on 4 of its most popular lines now through November 6th with its Grand Slam rebate. Get up to a $100 rebate on a select set of 4 passenger or light truck tires. Ask about Hankook's wide selection of trailer tires. See dealer for details. Radial Tire Service in Sacramento is your one-stop tire shop, providing their customers with excellent service for an affordable price. Don't wait. Come in and hit a Grand Slam with your tire game with a premium Hankook Tire Grand Slam rebate. Hankook, driving emotion.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Yeah, we're a sports family. 2-a-day practices with muddy gear, driving in all kinds of weather to get to away games, and of course, the gravel parking lots. Oh, and did we mention kids? So you can imagine what our car looks like, except it doesn't. We're big fans of defying expectations. So we go to Quick Quack and shine like all our kids' trophies. Go for the win yourself and head to Quick Quack for a shine that lets you defy expectations.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant. Now just $3.99 after mail-in rebate. Limits apply. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Chest up, engage your core.
At Misty's gym, boot camp gets pretty close to the real thing. She wants to spot a personal trainer with a military background.
I can cover this week's boot camp, but we need someone stat. Is it your cousin a Marine?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Elk Grove Honda, we know that the past year has been challenging to find the Honda you're looking to drive home. But now, at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a steady basis, including new Accords, Civics, CR-Vs, and more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory is as large as it's ever been. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. It was a rough Sunday for the 49ers as San Francisco fell to the Falcons in Atlanta 28-14. If the loss wasn't bad enough, the 49ers continue to rack up injuries to key players. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey left the game during the second quarter with a left calf injury, while starting quarterback Charvarius Ward also left the game in the second quarter with a growing injury. No timetable has been set for either's return. The Sacramento Kings wrapped up the preseason with a dominating win over the Lakers at Golden One Center, defeating LA 133-86 behind 19 points from De'Aaron Fox in just 24 minutes. The Kings open the regular season at home on Wednesday against the Blazers. The NLCS is set after the Phillies dispatched the Braves in 4 games, and the San Diego Padres upset the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
The kick on the way, and that kick is knuckling toward the upright, and it's good. Just gets over the upright. Chase McGrath wins the game for Tennessee. And here they come. Everybody sharing in the celebration. The student section mobbing the field. They're mobbing Chase McGrath. Joy and jubilation as the Tennessee Volunteers have beaten the Alabama Crimson Tide. The final score from Neyland Stadium on a joyous night in Big Orange Country. Tennessee 52, Alabama 49.
Snap back, four-man rush on the way. They're on their way in to Caleb Williams. Williams looking, throwing down the field. It's a jump ball, and it is knocked down. No Logan! That's the ball game. Utah has upset the USC Trojans.
It says on the little sheet I have here, I'm playing the sounds off of. It says Utah final call versus USC. And then it says bad call in all caps. Sometimes they'll warn us on things. And I'm listening to the beginning and I go, what's wrong with this call? And then, of course, whatever dumb ding dong football guy, ex-offensive lineman analyst, just, can we find these people? Can we put them in prison, Jason? Is that too much?
It seems like a bit much, but maybe they can all have fun there.
In prison?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Also, quick shouts to, I don't know who this was, but from the 916, the last text of the weekend, I think this was for Cows and Rami. Some guy or gal says, game of the day tomorrow, meaning Saturday, also slightly slept on, Oklahoma State at TCU. So I saw that, and I went, oh, how did that game go? Was it the game of the day, Mr. I'm calling my shot? Well, 43-40 TCU in 2 overtimes.
How about that? So
Good
prediction.
You got to throw that out there. But honestly, game of the weekend, yeah. Tennessee beat Alabama. Great. And Peyton Manning was there, and they stole the goalposts. By the way, the GoFundMe that the university is putting on for the replacement goalpost is now up to $65,000.
I would have thought that would have been higher.
You mean the GoFundMe or how much the goalpost cost?
The GoFundMe.
Okay, because apparently the goalpost cost 15 to 20 grand.
Oh, okay. So they got bonus money.
Yeah, what is the University of Tennessee doing having a GoFundMe?
Right, exactly.
Just take like 5% of the name, image, likeness stuff from the players.
Just say, hey, Peyton, we need a little help. He's like, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't Florida State getting close with Clemson towards the end there. It wasn't even the Utah and USC game. No, 41-10. Sac State just throttled the Colorado State Ram, more like the Colorado State Lambs.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wait. God dang it, David, you stupid idiot. I'm going through numbers.
Come on.
Can I tell you why I'm an idiot, and then we'll move on? Because I was going through and totaling everything up, and I was going through each game's box score during the break.
Yeah.
Sac State has outscored their opponents 290 to 120, which is insane. So that's why I was still on that page. Or we could just roll with it and talk about Colorado State.
We could. That was very impressive because they got paid to play that game, and they did win.
52-28 over the Eastern Washington Eagles.
Yes.
More like the Eastern Washington Beagles because they're apparently fat and lazy and can't play football.
Interesting.
52-28 is your final. My guy Cameron Scadaboo, 29-201 on the ground, 341 and a touchdown through the air.
And he made the Sports Center top 10 at number 4.
Number 4.
Yes, Scadaboo is incredible.
This guy is insane. I mean, he really is a human highlight, really. Move over, Dominique. Make room for Cameron Scadaboo. Here's something I've also noticed, too. So, Jake Dunaway was 9-14. Asher O'Hara was 4-5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed, in fact, let me go back to that. That's what I was looking at, Jason. It was that Colorado State game. I was stuck on that. Because let me get to the box score. You can help me. By the way, Jason Ross joins us right now, play-by-play voice of the Sac State Hornets. So Jake Dunaway was 12-23. Asher O'Hara was 10-10. So how does that whole thing work there with those? What's going on
with the two quarterbacks?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Troy Taylor's done this since about really when it went into full fruition was game 4 last year, the first game of Big Sky play. He's played both and still playing both. They're both seniors this year. They're great friends, and it works. When they say that saying, Dave, like if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. Well, Troy Taylor's ignored that because they play both. They play him effectively. And whenever we play another team, now it's known. But like last year when people go, are they really going to play both? I said, yep. And they go, is there a rhyme or reason? I said, Not really. I mean, I've called every play of every game, and if I don't always know who's coming in, how's the defense going to know? So,
right.
Generally, if there's a general rule of thumb, Jake Dunaway's more of the passer, Asher O'Hara's more of the runner. But also what makes that work is Asher O'Hara can throw the ball. So when you think he's going to run, he might throw. And then Jake Dunaway can run a little bit. He doesn't run nearly as much, but it's just an effective share the wealth offense between those two guys, and the running backs and receivers tied in. It's well balanced, and they're averaging almost 50 points a game.
Asher O'Hara is 36 of 47 with 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, and a rating of 161.9.
Yeah, and I think last week with his 3 rushing touchdowns, he might have 10 rushing touchdowns this year.
You're kidding me.
Something like that. I mean, he's just got a nose for the goal line. And, I mean, here's some things that are just staggering to me. So Saturday was their 14th straight regular season win. Of course, they lost in the playoffs last year, and that's still something they have to try to exercise those demons. But 6-0 for the first time at the FCS level. Troy Taylor, since they've entered conference play, Dave, which, the conference is really good. The Big Sky's tough. They've played 10 road games in the 2.5+ years that he's been the head coach. They've won them all in the conference play. And in Big Sky play overall, they're 19-1 since Troy Taylor has taken over. It's absolutely amazing. And then they got a monster game Saturday, 8 o'clock, ESPN2 against Montana, who we thought was going to be 2 top 5 teams, but Montana was stunned this last week. So Sac State will move up a little bit higher, could be as high as 2 or 3 when the rankings come out today. And they're just rolling.
I don't know what coach's contract situation is, but you got to, I mean, it's just the reality of the situation. You got to imagine it's a temporary stay for him at Sac State.
Yeah, that's the fear, right? I mean, there's been wild success, and he will be coveted. I know he was looked at Fresno State, maybe even Nevada. I think there were some teams that were looking at him, I should say. He's from here. His family's here, but, he's moved around a little bit too. So, the big difference is when people go, why would he go to a school like, let's just say, Colorado State, Fresno State, Nevada, something like that? Well, there is a lot more money to be offered from those schools. But I don't know. All I know is right now I'm enjoying the heck out of this because, Dave, I've done too many 2-9 seasons, 3-8s, 1-10s. And right now to see this team at 6-0 and the 2.5-year run they're on has been unheard of. It's been so fun.
Well, and that was a shocker against Montana. The Idaho Vandals were 3-2 going in. But I'll tell you something. This is not a team Montana should have taken lightly. Idaho's only 2 losses, first of the year. They lost by a touchdown in Pullman against Washington State. And they lost by 13. But that was at Indiana.
Yeah, they played up twice and had a lead in both of those games. So, yeah, those are the next 2 opponents for Sac State, Montana and Idaho.
Here's the thing. If they win both games, they got to be number 1, right?
Well, the tough one is last week 1 played 2. And North Dakota State always wins this thing. Like, they win the whole thing. They were number 1. Their only loss was to Arizona. They played number 2, South Dakota State, also from the Missouri Valley Conference. And their only loss was to Iowa. So, they were 1-2, and then South Dakota State won. So they'll move to number 1. I would think they would have to lose for Sac State to pass them, but you never know.
Well, make sure, and we'll talk about this later this week. Normally, we wouldn't spend a lot of time on college football. We certainly wouldn't spend a lot of time on Sac State. But this is new. This is cool. And they've got, Jason, biggest game ever this Saturday?
I mean, besides the playoffs, yeah. I mean, things especially had Montana won. But the other thing, too, and unfortunately, timing is everything, Dave. Saturday, the Sacramento sports market, man, you've got the Kings at home with the Clippers. You got the Republic at home for a playoff game.
Yep.
And Sac State at home. So, I mean, the competitive dollars there are going to be that's a tough draw for all 3, really. I mean, the Kings will draw well. The Republic should do their thing, and hopefully Sac State will have a big crowd.
Was a Sacramento connection in the game of the weekend, the Bills and the Chiefs. Also, a player gets booted off the field, and we've got 1 unbeaten team left still. We go around the NFL next.
Get your 49ers fix every week with the Return of the Empire podcast, featuring Jay Mars and 49ers insider Emil Fergoso.
Let's go Niners!
At SactownSports.com.
Your local sports leader.
I'm with Vince Bloom, the big guy at last year's Elk Grove Dodge. I know Halloween's coming up, Vince. Must be why you're wearing the Count Dracula costume.
Count Dracula?
The tuxedo and bow tie, the black cape.
I think you mean Count Ramula, because during Ram Power Days, I'm taking a bite out of prices on Ram
Ram 1500 Bighorns.
A big bite?
A $9,000 bite.
You mean $9,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorns?
And that's not all. Right now at Oak Grove Dodge, save $9,000 off MSRP on 24 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 48 months.
Can you say that with the Count Ramula voice?
Look, it's enough that you got me in this costume.
Now through Halloween, save $9,000 off 24 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Plus, get 0% financing. Only at Lasher's Oak Grove Dodge and the Oak Grove Auto Mall and online at oakgrovedodge.com.
Includes $4,500 in California and Chrysler Capital bonus and retail bonus cash on approved credit. 0% APR for 48 months is $20.83 per $1,000 borrowed. Sampled in 3957.96, ends 10/31/22.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Coming up, quarterback Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos travel west to take on Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner and I will have the call on air or on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone. Who will get the important AFC West win? Join us to find out on Monday Night Football.
Get ready for the game with more details and preview at westwoodonesports.com.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pi customer.
The other workers' comp insurance company, they were going to reclassify our business, and then they were going to charge me $50,000.
Meet Natalie, owner of the carpentry shop. Shocked by an unexpected bill, she knew it was time to switch her workers' comp provider. That's when she found Pi Insurance.
When we got the quote back from Pi, it was a sigh of relief. They put us in a policy where we fit.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, with pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, which means no additional bill if your business grows.
I'm grateful that there's a company out there that's willing to insure us little guys, because every dollar counts.
With Pi Insurance, you get pricing and coverage made for small businesses. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
You know, they've been here for a combined 50 years. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Mahomes takes, has a pocket, gets away to the right a little bit. He fires downfield. It is picked off at the 20-yard line, intercepted by the Bills. Picked off by Darren Johnson. He goes down right there, and the Bills have the football. They are celebrating. They're running down to the end zone for the celebration. They picked off Patrick Mahomes.
It's a decent call.
It sounded like the Bear one, and it's a bill.
The bill. Oh my God! Right out of the field. It's a bill. Would have preferred he said Sheldon High School's Darren Johnson. Hello. It's a nice connection there. Can we listen? I'm a Niner fan. I get that this wouldn't necessarily benefit me, but can we just have the Bills and Chiefs play every game?
Yeah, entertaining, right? I mean, even at the beginning, I'm like, man, I'm surprised. I just expected a little bit more of a shootout, but by the end, in a game that had so much defense in it, then each team getting the ball late, you're like, oh, too much time for Josh Allen. Oh, there's going to be too much time for Patrick Mahomes. It still got to the quarterbacks that we were looking for to make the plays.
And the Bills beat them last year, too, in the regular season.
Yep.
People forget about that because of the playoff deal there. It was just such a wonderful game back and forth. Two teams that were playing high level football. And I have a hard time knocking the Chiefs. And I know we're going to do our power rankings tomorrow, but you got an undefeated team in the Eagles with a really quality win yesterday, but I'm having a really tough time thinking the Bills and Eagles play each other. The Bills aren't going to win 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, they look like I think the AFC just in totality is better than the NFC. I mean, right now the Eagles certainly would stand up, but then you go, is it the Giants, the Vikings?
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like the Packers and Niners will have something to say, maybe the Cowboys too, but it just feels like there's better quality. I mean, we can't get the Chiefs and Bills in the Super Bowl, but it feels like that could be a Super Bowl if you're just getting to best teams.
Speaking of the Giants, fantasy tough spot of the weekend happened in that game.
Jones over center, bunch formation left. Ballinger in motion to the right. Hand off Barkley. Spins. Tries to bounce outside. Barkley to the 5. Barkley's going to slide down at the 1 yard line. Oh, Saquon just slid down at the 1.
I don't know anybody on the show that has Saquon. Oh, wait.
In both leagues. Yeah.
Did you lose any by a
well, here's the thing. Thanks a lot, Saquon Barkley, if that's even your real name.
Yeah. On to you.
So here's how it's going to go tonight. I have in one league, one of those dumb leagues where it's everyone I have went, and I have 66 points. It's one of those dumb touchdown leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going. He's got Melvin Gordon, and he needs 14 points. I should win that one. The odds are definitely in my favor, but in the other one, it's 108-103. I'm beating this guy. But he has Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and Courtland Sutton, and I have the Chargers defense.
Good night.
Yeah, and by the way, why is Denver on national television again?
Oh, let's ride. Russ, baby.
Gosh.
Dave, you don't want to see their 9 points they're going to score tonight?
No.
Okay.
It's so lame. It's like the Bears and the Broncos should be barred. Barred from who did the Bears play last week? And the Commanders.
Commanders.
Bar them.
Football.
It's horrible.
But the Broncos, you get 2-1. You get football and you get Russ cooking.
Good point, Jay.
What is Russ even cooking? It's
bad fish.
Someone put out a meme of Russ cooking, and it was like putting NyQuil in a pan.
Russ is cooking up some tilapia. Here's this happened in Green Bay.
Under center, Zach Wilson, jet sweep motion left to right. Berrios, Carter the lone setback. Bunch set right now. Zach Wilson takes the snap. Counter handoff. Up the middle goes Brees Hall. He's at the 30. At the 25-20. Right side 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. A little counter inside handoff to Brees Hall, who finds some Jet fans in the crowd and does a Jets Lambeau leap.
9-3, New York football. Actually, excuse me. You know what?
Yes.
I hate when people do that. 14-4.
Yes, count those Bills.
Got to count the Bills. In fact, the Bills, the only team that plays in New York.
Yeah, good point. That's true. Factually true. What is happening with the Jets and the Giants?
Robert Saleh. I mean, shouts to him. Brian Daboll is certainly, I would think, he's got to be your coach of the year right now. The season ended today.
Yeah, because, nobody had any expectations for either of those two teams. But the Giants, every week, I'm like, yeah, they're not very good.
No.
And then they keep winning, and they beat good teams, beating the Ravens. I mean, just good for them.
Sauce Gardner, did you see him grab a cheese head?
Yes, of course it did. Yep.
So Sauce Gardner, the Jets, grabs a cheese head, and he's kind of doing his thing off the field. Then the best part was Alan Lazard flips it off his head on his way to the locker room.
Jason, remember on Friday, who did I call as the upset of the week?
You did. Jay Mars had the Jets not just covering or getting close. His upset was winning at Lambeau, and they won easily.
You know how some people have that friend that always has to do the one-upping?
Is that what's happening here?
Let me tell you about my buddy's bets this weekend, Jay.
God.
In case you're
Put
feeling,
it, Jess.
Yeah, right.
Your buddy's always making it about him.
Yeah, he sure is. So he had the Cleveland Browns plus 1.5.
Okay.
He had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 3.5.
Over 2.
He had the Bengals plus 2.5. Got that.
Okay.
He doubled up on the Buccaneers again at minus 5.5. He had the Packers minus 6.5.
Oh, I still hear 1 win.
He had the Niners minus 1.5.
Still 1 win. Were those separate games, or do you know if your buddy? I don't know if you know this. Were they a parlay?
No, they were not a parlay. They were all separate games.
Oh, so a one win, unless he bet a bunch, or she. I don't know. To be honest, I should be fair.
It's a she.
It's like your buddy. Your buddy must listen to our Friday Pick'em segment.
Yeah. She hopefully bet a lot on that 1 win.
No, she dropped the most. She dropped half of her bets on that Buccaneers game. She was really confident the Buccaneers were going to come back.
Just a big Tom Brady fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's going to be really weird when Katie wakes up this morning to a bunch of tweets from people like, why are you betting on football?
Jay?
It wasn't Katie.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine.
I didn't say that. So, yeah, there you go. One-upping you on your upset of the week. So, Jay's the winner of the week.
I get it. Your buddy was upset.
Yeah, see, exactly. And finally, this happened.
Hurts takes the knee one more time, and that is it. That is it.
Whoa, hold on a second. When did Bernie Sanders start all of this?
I'll tell you what, Dave, those Eagles are great.
Listen, it's Bernie Sanders.
Hurts takes the knee one more time, and that is it. That is it. 6-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
Need to tax Hurts.
I'm not going to take any more for those Cowboys.
Tax Jerry Jones.
Oh, Bernie Sanders and the Eagles.
If they get online, we'll tax you too.
Now I'll never be able to not have that visual.
It's 100% burn.
Hurts takes the knee one more time.
Feel it, baby.
And then they just went over there, and then they went over there.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk, I guess, we'll talk about the Niners.
Woohoo!
And the stuff and the thing. By the way, Matt Barrows is right. That's actually very true. Matt Barrows is in the air currently. What? I know it's dangerous, but
get down, Matt.
He'll join us tomorrow. In the meantime, I'll bet you he's cold because it can get down to like minus 120 depending on your elevation or altitude, I should say. And I bet you right now you wish he had a heater from it. I'll bet you right now you wish he had his friends from American Energy. Air.com. That's right. American Energy been serving Sacramento since 1981. Hey, fall is here. I'm actually ready to say that. It was a little tiny bit crispy yesterday morning. Today, oh man, it was supposed to be 74. Now it's 77. Stupid. It's supposed to be 83, a little cloudy tomorrow. But look at a week from tomorrow. What does iPhone weather say? 69 degrees. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Lows in the 40s. We're starting to sniff fall. That means you need to tune up your air conditioner. And, oh, by the way, your heater, obviously. But I'll do it with your air conditioner, too. Make sure both are running perfectly for whatever temperature's outside. Take advantage of American Energy's $49 AC and furnace 30-point tune-up today. Make sure you and your family are ready for the changing weather. Call American Energy today at 916-520-9990 or visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Is Kyle Shanahan on the hot seats? We'll answer that question when we get back.
From the draft to free agency to the summer league
to the games that matter the most.
It's good, and it's pandemonium at Golden One Center.
When it comes to the Kings, nobody has you covered like Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Carmichael, Dave. You know, it's amazing how the housing market has shifted so quickly over the last few months, and having the right mortgage company on your side is crucial in this ever-changing market. We've got just that lender. Of course, it's my guy Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. You can check him out at refinancewithshelby.com. Shelby's team, well known in the real estate market, from real estate agents, title companies, appraisal companies. That makes all the difference. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved up front so you can compete with the cash offers. They're local, fast, and competitive. Even with rates rising slightly from their record lows, there's been an increase in inventory. The market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of settling for what was available. The team at United Wholesale Lending can pre-approve you over the phone in under 15 minutes without even running your credit. Refinancewithshelby.com. That's refinancewithshelby.com. NLS number 279051, BRE number 01864354.
For 74 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and, well, many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 74th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Next Tuesday, it's Golf and Guitars at Hagen Oaks with Ryan Hurd. Loving that. Little bit of devil in her angel eyes. Jackson D.
If I don't come back, don't come looking.
Connor Smith, Restless Road, Jason Michael Carroll, Jordan Fletcher, and more. Grab your tickets for only $35 at golfandguitars.com. It's Golf and Guitars next Tuesday at Hagen Oaks.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It all started with a group of cowboys who broke from the mold and wanted more. 30 years later, the ride continues, and the professional bull riders have never been more rank. Join the top bull riders in the world and celebrate 30 years with 3 huge nights this February 3rd through 5th at the Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.com or the Golden One Center box office. Don't be a... Get your tickets now and join the PBR live at the Golden One Center this February 3rd through 5th.
Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
We are the home for the Kings, Raiders, the NFL, and the A's.
It's Sactown Sports 1140. Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. It was a rough Sunday for the 49ers as San Francisco fell to the Falcons in Atlanta 28-14. If the loss wasn't bad enough, the 49ers continue to rack up injuries to key players. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey left the game during the second quarter with a left calf injury, while starting quarterback Charvarius Ward also left the game in the second quarter with a groin injury. No timetable has been set for either's return. The Sacramento Kings wrapped up the preseason with a dominating win over the Lakers at Golden One Center, defeating LA 133-86 behind 19 points from De'Aaron Fox in just 24 minutes. The Kings opened the regular season at home on Wednesday against the Blazers. The NLCS is set after the Phillies dispatched the Braves in 4 games, and the San Diego Padres upset the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Garoppolo in the shotgun. Debo to his left. A play action throw out left. It is caught by Brandon Ayuk. 10-5. Touchdown! San Francisco. Jimmy back. Jimmy throws. Caught. Brandon Ayuk. 10-5. Touchdown! San Francisco.
And that's how it ended. Niners 14. Falcons 0.
Dave, I think there was more.
Was there? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
a little
turn,
bit more.
I didn't turn the page. Dang it.
Snap to Mariota. Marcus will keep it right side. Turn the corner. Touchdown, Atlanta. Marcus Mariota. Bird comes in the orbit from left to right. Mariota looks. Now going to loop. And Kyle Pitts caught it. Touchdown.
Okay, well, yeah, okay.
A play fake to him and a roll right by for a six.
Oh, wrong one. Here we go.
Second down and 10. Play fake. Garoppolo wants to line up another one middle of the field. That got broken up and intercepted. Jalen Hawkins off the deflection.
Matt Barrows will not join us today. He will be here tomorrow. He is currently in the air. It's 7:43. He will join us. We want to remind you, Matt Barrows and the rest of our guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. 1-800-920-1140 is the phone line. 916-339-1140. That's your text line. And welcome into everybody, except probably Chris, at the Sactown Sports YouTube page. Also want to remind everyone, too, we'll be talking a lot about Kings opening week. We got a whole bunch of guests coming on to talk about them. We'll talk about the Kings here at 7:27 in just about 25 minutes. But, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to opening night? You, the collective you, not you. I know you.
Yeah.
Want to stay home and watch it. We got tickets.
What?
All right.
We got a pair today,
No.
a pair tomorrow, and then through my executive privilege, got us 2 pair to give away on opening night.
What? So repeat that. So we have, when are we giving them away?
I don't know. But we got a pair today. We got a pair tomorrow. And then via the power of me, we have 2 pair on Wednesday to give away on opening night.
Here's the thing.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
That's a tough ticket. It is a tough ticket. It really is. And on top of that, playing Portland, which I get it. You know, Portland's not, the super duper marquee Milwaukee, LeBron James, whatever. But this is very likely at least one of, if not the team we're going to be fighting with for that last play-in spot if the season goes the way people think, and it never, ever does. So great game, opening night, going to be an awesome, awesome atmosphere. And we invite all of you. Yeah, that's right. All of you to participate. And Jay will come up with a time for us to give them away. In the meantime, what is this?
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over.
Sorry, I had to hear that because we're getting into the Niners now. Okay. This was not unpredictable, Jason. This was, I don't think everybody was saying, oh, the Atlanta's going to win. That's Monday morning quarterbacking. But this, we talked about this all last week. Atlanta is not as bad as their record. They've got something going. You're on the road. You've been on the East Coast. Didn't bother them last year with those back-to-back East Coast games, but certainly got them this time. And this is just a game that at the end of the year you hope isn't going to hurt them. Yeah,
and they've already had a couple of those that I think, could, because they gave away a couple of games earlier. I just didn't like the way they began the game. Obviously, you're in a 14-0 hole right away. They did a good job of getting back in the game. But as it just went along, Dave, I just felt like the injuries they already had on defense, combined with a few more guys getting banged up, I would combine that with the lack of running game, right? We go to the Niners' true DNA. if they can defend in a dominant fashion and run the ball in a close to dominant or a super effective way, then quarterback play is almost irrelevant. So now when you take away maybe both elements of that, where the run game was not special, the defense was not special, so then you have to have your quarterback go win the game, and Jimmy G normally can't do that. And I think there were moments where it's like, hey, they might be okay here, but they still had to play better football than they did. I felt like they deserved to lose yesterday. I felt they gave 2 games away earlier. This one felt like it just should have been a loss. It was not their best performance. Credit to Atlanta being undermanned, not having all their guys on the road, just a lot of things tallied up. And it's the NFL. Like when they always say it's hard to win in the league, it's true. It is hard. Other teams have their game plan and they want to beat you. And Atlanta was better at their plan than the Niners were.
Atlanta gave up 31 points to the Rams in game 2, 27 to the Saints, and then 23, 20, 21, and 14. Now, by numbers, they're still in the bottom half of the pack when it comes to points given up, but they've got the 6th best offense by points scored in the NFL. And unfortunately, Jimmy Garoppolo helped them there. You don't want to pin this whole thing on Jimmy.
No.
But he also continues to just, when, like you said, when the defense isn't pouring it on, 29 to 41, 296. I mean, he did have yards in the air, but a couple of picks, terrible rating. It just, you have to have that defense over the top, it seems, if they're going to win.
Yeah, and then even the drive that took way too long when there's a sense of lack of sense of desperation, down 2 scores. You get to the 4th down and, I don't know. It's kind of a throw he has to stay in there. It wouldn't have been easy, and he short arms it in there. Just there's a few things that, again, he wasn't perfect by any means. It was a collective loss, but I think I'd just go back to that feeling that I don't think Jimmy G has to be great if those other elements are good. When they weren't, then you're asking him to be Allen, Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, and he's clearly not that.
No, he's not. And by the way, missing Bosa. I think Bosa would have had a field day with Mariota. The amount of injuries on that defense just continue to pile up. Now it sounds like Mike McGlinchey is going to be an issue. Brandon Ayuk had a breakout game for him, and we saw this last year. He had a slow start and then proceeded to advance long and put together a good second half of the year. But when you look at as you pointed out, 50 yards rushing, that's just, for this Niners, it's just not going to cut it.
No, and that's, I think, to Kyle's, like, if he could draw up a game plan, he would just love to take your spirit away via the run. I mean, if he could just do that with, whether it's Jeff Wilson Jr. or Coleman, certainly Debo as well, and whatever back they put in there, or jet sweeps to Ayuk or Debo or however, that's what he wants to do. And 14-0 was early enough to not panic and say we got to scrap the game plan. Sure. But even when they did run the ball, I don't even know. I don't think. Did they have a double-digit yard run? I don't think they did. I don't think they had anything longer than
9.
Okay, there you go. Like, I don't remember a double-digit run. Yeah. So, I mean, not that you have to have 20 and 25-yard runs, but just no explosive plays on the ground at all.
No, they broke nothing. There was a 9-yard run by Jeff Wilson Jr. That was more than a third of his yards on the day, 25 yards. Debo couldn't do anything. I mean, he had two chances. I mean, when Jimmy Garoppolo is your third leading rusher, you have a serious problem. Tevin Coleman, who looked fantastic coming off the couch last week, 4 rushes, 3 yards. And Jimmy said, no excuses.
It was a long week. We've been waiting. I'm not trying to make excuses by any means, but, we got to bring that energy regardless of where we play, when we play, whatever it is. And guys hurt. Guys have to step up in those situations. And, it's just that is what it is. It's the NFL. It's not easy.
I don't want to pick on what Jimmy said right there, because I think I agree with the spirit of what he said, but just in case, I understand the long week thing. You're staying at the Greenbrier, which is a beautiful resort. It's been, Eric Armstead came on last year and kind of described it as camp, just like, but a camp for really rich people. And then they go to Atlanta. I don't understand I understand being away. Listen, anyone being away from your family, missing your kid, like, I get that. But these things, ultimately, if they go 2-0, Carolina and Atlanta, we're talking about it's a bonding experience. And, that's what we heard when they go to Youngstown and stay there. So I don't buy that, Jason.
I'm totally with you, Dave. I think that's the exact phrase. So if we flip the score today and we're talking about a 28-14 Niners win over the Falcons, we would be saying that exact thing. Like, boy, this time away, They gave away those 2 games earlier. Jimmy G's now settled in. They've won these 2 in a row. They've won 3 in a row total based on these 2 on the road. And this just brought the team closer. Look at all the people that were out. Next man up. Those are all the things we'd be saying. Instead, they lose, and it's, long week. I don't know. I still think they have all the elements to be a good team. What would really, really help is to get some of their best players healthy, but that's not why they lost. They got outplayed. Some of those guys were out last week, and they look good. Not this week, and Atlanta had more of the terms that they wanted for the entire of the game.
You just said that it would help to get players healthy, but that's not why they lost. Maybe you could be a head coach in the NFL because Kyle Shanahan agrees.
I think it always can be, but I don't think that was the case today. I think we had our chances to overcome. We made it harder on ourselves. I'm not taking anything away from them. I think you said it. That's a big deal, missing those people, but we had every chance to still pull that off.
As we go to break from the 916, and I hear this person here. What game were you watching? Jimmy played his butt off. He can't catch the ball, too. I love Jimmy as a person. I'm not pinning, and I started out by saying, I think Jason's with me. We're not pinning this loss on him. But when you're 29 of 41, you throw 2 picks, and granted, at least one of those was not necessarily his fault, but one of them definitely was. And you're rolling out a QBR of 36-3. Like, sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story, but Jimmy Garoppolo certainly wasn't keeping them in the game. Let's put it that way.
Right.
That's a problem. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got 3 from Madness. New York football, my goodness gracious, baseball, and who had the best and worst weekend? I know one of those answers. We'll get to that next.
When it comes to the Kings,
nobody has you covered like we do.
All right, we're here with De'Aaron Fox.
I think coming in, and since we've been playing, he's talked about defense a lot to me personally, and being able to, fight through 6-7 screens in a possession, and still be able to do what you do offensively. So I feel like I'm ready for it.
The best Kings talk.
The flagship.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. The primetime football giveaway, it's back. They're giving away a total of $500 for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento with plenty of well-lit parking and some of the best food in a friendly environment. For more information on tournaments and gaming, please log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. As always, 1-800-GAMBLER.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
We're going to talk Kings here in 15 minutes. I want to give a shout out to Jay Mars.
That's me.
He's classier than I.
Yeah, debatable.
If it was my Giants failing like his Dodgers, I wouldn't be able to handle. I'd take the day off. I couldn't. I get too emotional. You've handled the abuse great, buddy.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Again, it's just what do you always say? If you set your expectations low or set them to nothing, you're never disappointed. I kind of, when the Dodgers get into the playoffs at this point, I don't really have the highest of expectations. I don't go in there like, yo, World Series is ours. What are you talking about? Funny business always happens.
They got goosed.
They did.
The Dodgers got goosed.
What was good for the goose was not good for the gander.
Was that? I don't know.
We'll get to that later.
Question 1.
Right now, we got to talk foosball. Specifically, football on the coast. So Jason brought this up, and this is fabulous. New York football is greater than California football.
What?
Hear us out. Would you take the Bills, Jets, and Giants over the 49ers, Rams, and Chargers?
I mean, I certainly record-wise, we talked about this before, between the Jets, the Bills, and the Giants. They're what, 14-4? It's ridiculous. I also think the Bills are the best team out of all those teams. Man, I don't know. Like, at some point, you have to stop saying, like, well, I don't know, the Giants, like, bro, the Giants went into Tennessee and won. The Giants, well, beat the Packers. Now they beat the Ravens, both at home. And their only loss is a touchdown to the Cowboys. They haven't played the strongest schedule, but they've played the schedule in front of them. And how many weeks do you go, well, when they face off against, because that's what I would have said this week, well, it's time to come down to earth. You're playing the Ravens. Lamar's going to eat you up. Lamar had a terrible game. So right now, I'm taking New York football. I truly am.
Any shout out to Florida, Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami? No. I'm going to – I think you said it, Dave. The Bills are the best team in the batch of the six. But I think the totality, I'm still going to ride with California at the moment. But, man, credit to the Jets and Giants for even making this remotely interesting. The Bills are the best, but the totality of the California teams, I'm going them.
Number 2.
Question 2.
There were 4 100-win teams in baseball this year. Count them, 4.
4.
And only 1 remains. Is that good for the game?
Wow. Surprise alert. My answer is no. It's not. Let's just be honest. It's not. It's not good for the LA Dodgers to win 111 games and be out in their first round. It's not good. It's not good for the Braves and Mets to win a combined 202 games and be out this early. It's not, because it diminished, which is why, again, I'm a lifelong baseball fan. True blue, first love. This is not interesting to me. It is now because we're getting into the brass tacks, but what's my point in May and June and July? The regular season means so little. You're playing 162 games. I understand they extended the playoffs, but these should be 7-game series. The fact that the Guardians could go out and win, okay, well, you just took 3 of 5 from the Yankees. Cool. You advance. Oh, the Padres took 3 of 5. They got hot. The pitcher got hot. The other guy had a bad night, whatever. And 162 games go down the drain. Now, I love to see it. And I understand the argument that, hey, that makes the playoffs even better because anybody in can win. Chip in a chair. Okay, I get it. But why are we playing 162 games in which you establish this massive amount of dominance? To me, they have to find a way, and I know they gave them the buys. Got to find a way, and I don't know what it is to make the regular season mean more.
Yeah, it's almost like as fans of sport or fans of baseball, you want these teams to be threatened, though. Like, we want the Dodgers to be in an elimination game. You want the Braves, as defending champs, to be in an elimination game, but maybe still advance. And now, unfortunately, for those teams, they didn't. But, Dave, to your point, here's who we highlighted during the regular season as baseball storylines. Shohei Ohtani, his team doesn't even make it. Aaron Judge, he could be eliminated today. Seattle finally making the postseason after all these years. They're already out. Dodgers could set the record for most wins. They are out. The Braves and Mets race, how that flipped at the end, they're both out. So all the things that we follow a lot during the year to highlight and make the 162 a little more palatable now gets us to what you hope is the best baseball. And these last 4, whatever happens in the ALCS tonight or ALDS tonight, could still set up great baseball, but it's not what anybody expected. And, a lot of the big market teams are out. That shouldn't be a needle mover only, but the storylines are gone. And I think that's what will be harder for baseball to overcome.
I hate to say this. It's like passing a kidney stone when I say this. I agree with Dave. When you do this is, and I've been making this point now for several years, that the 162 game regular season is just so, like, we should have been beyond that years ago. It really does. It's like you play 162 games. That's why in the quote unquote olden days, aka the early 90s, 80s, 70s, 162 games mattered because you had 2 teams then playing to get into the World Series, right? On each side. It made 162 games matter because you had the 2 best teams and you're going for 7 games. Now, when you get into these shortened series, more teams, it really does render 162 games from a competitive standpoint useless. It's just now we have 162 games so we can sell 162 games worth of tickets. beers, hot dogs, crab sandwiches, you name it. I think baseball is going to find that they're going to have a problem on their hands. And baseball already has a hard enough time with storylines because they don't market their stars.
Right.
Now you got an even bigger problem because the teams that you market, those are your storylines, the Yankees, Dodgers of the world. I'm not saying it should be this way. It just is what it is currently.
Sure.
They're gone. Dude, do you think baseball wants to see a Guardians, Phillies, or a Astros, Padres World Series? No.
I want to see sorry, Jason, but I want to see a Guardians, Padres World Series, but that's just my love of the underdog.
Do you think baseball does? MLB?
I 100% do not. They were all salivating over Dodgers Yankees.
Yes.
By the way, sports headline of the weekend. Shout out to the LA Times. I don't know if you saw this. Here's the headline. If there was ever a case for canceling the playoffs and awarding a championship to one team because it was so clearly better than all the others, the 2022 Dodgers would be it.
I have to ask, is that a Bill Plaschke headline?
Was it Plaschke? It probably was. Let's see. No, Paul Thornton.
Oh.
Paul Thornton, who is a Dodger fan, he says right in the beginning.
Oh, well.
What a bunch of... And that was, by the way, before they got beat.
No bias there, right?
No. Number 3.
Question 3.
All right, gentlemen, who had the best weekend and worst weekend in sports?
I'm going to stick to the topic because there are a lot of candidates here. I think the Dodgers had the worst weekend, and I think that goes without saying. You win $111 and you lose. And what did they win last year?
It was a 106?
106. Yeah.
105 or 106.
Something like
a game
106.
behind the Giants.
It was a lot. And Atlanta got them. Like, the Dodgers are not going to have a comfortable offseason, nor should they. And I think the best of the weekend, again, a lot of candidates here, but I'm just going to stick with the theme. I mean, Bob Melvin. How about Bob Melvin? Hey, imagine Bob Melvin winning a playoff series
with those scrappy Padres and their low payroll,
largely behind his high payroll acquisitions and the rest of his club. Like, that is completely foreign to him coming from the A's. And here he is. Great weather. Not that Oakland wasn't. Great weather. Really cool baseball town. And he's on his way to the NLCS. Good for Bob.
Was there any part of A's fans that, I mean, I think everybody personally likes Bob Melvin. Did that feel like a loss for any of them at all?
So, Jason, honestly, I had a lot of A's fans I talked to over the weekend on social media, and to a person, they were like, it's like fly, little birdie, fly. Like, they were so happy for him. That's really classy of them. They were just really happy for him.
Yeah. I think shout out to the Tennessee Volunteers. They had a great weekend, finally beating Nick Saban in Alabama, and that celebration after was awesome. The Dodgers are the answer, I think, for the loss, worst loss of the weekend. But I'm going to just throw on the Lakers, losing Westbrook to injury because, in the game against the Kings, they lose by 47. They sure look ready for the regular season.
Woof. As we take a break, just for funsies in the National League, the Atlanta Braves, New York Mets, St. Louis Cardinals, and LA Dodgers, all first place in their divisions. And I say the Mets because they were tied with the Braves at 101 wins. Bye-bye. All gonzo. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into the Kings. I got the final roster announced. It cuts as expected. We have some Keegan Murray news we learned last night. Now let's begin previewing the rest of this week. It's opening week for your Sacramento Kings. We'll talk about them next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show.
Plus, get exclusive content.
Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
I'm with Vince Bloom, the big guy at last year's Elk Grove Dodge. I know Halloween's coming up, Vince. Must be why you're wearing the Count Dracula costume.
Count Dracula?
You know, the tuxedo and bow tie, the black cape.
I think you mean Count Ramula, because during Ram Power Days, I'm taking a bite out of prices on Ram 1500 Bighorns.
A big bite?
A $9,000 bite.
You mean $9,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorns?
And that's not all. Right now at Elk Grove Dodge, save $9,000 off MSRP on 24 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 48 months.
Can you say that with the Count Ramula voice?
Look, it's enough that you got me in this costume.
Now through Halloween, save $9,000 off 24 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Plus, get 0% financing. Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Includes $4,500 in California and Chrysler Capital bonus and retail bonus cash on approved credit. 0% APR for 48 months is $20.83 per $1,000 borrowed. Sample VIN 395796 ends 10/31/22.
You could save Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to use humor. But we don't want to insult your intelligence, so nothing too goofy. And we need to avoid any polarizing topics. Oh, and it has to be about how you can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. You know what? Maybe humor is a bad idea. Yeah, it's never going to work. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
When it's time to service your vehicle, experience matters. Trust the experts at Folsom Lake Honda. We understand how important it is to have a safe and reliable vehicle, and our highly trained technicians will get the job done right the first time. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Need an oil change? Our express service will have you in and out fast. Come in or schedule your service online today.
Folsom Lake Honda.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. Why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. It was a rough Sunday for the 49ers as San Francisco fell to the Falcons in Atlanta 28-14. If the loss wasn't bad enough, the 49ers continue to rack up injuries to key players. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey left the game during the second quarter with a left calf injury, while starting quarterback Charvarius Ward also left the game in the second quarter with a groin injury. No timetable has been set for either's return. The Sacramento Kings wrapped up the preseason with a dominating win over the Lakers at Golden One Center, defeating LA 133-86 behind 19 points from De'Aaron Fox in just 24 minutes. The Kings opened the regular season at home on Wednesday against the Blazers. The NLCS is set after the Phillies dispatched the Braves in 4 games, and the San Diego Padres upset the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You know they've been here for a combined 50 years. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports 1140.
When it breaks, we have it first. Sactown Sports 1140.
Breaking news.
Well, not wasting a lot of time, the Los Angeles Dodgers have acquired Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge already. It's already started. They've acquired.
Can Judge play Game 5 first?
He's not going to be able to get. Also, Bryce Harper, who's still involved. They grabbed him as well. And ERA leader Jose Quintana, they grabbed him. Josh Hader was going to play for the Padres this year for the rest of the year. Nope, he's not part of that bullpen. So, wow, interesting stuff. Tell me that this joke headline is not going to have some sort of truth to it in the offseason. The one thing that makes me mad about them losing is that they're going to go out and just spend $700 billion.
Yeah, but doesn't that make it more enjoyable for you if it falls short again?
Yes.
I don't think they will.
If it does, you don't think they're doing something?
This offseason, there's not $700 billion worth of players. I mean, there's Aaron Judge.
Can I tell you what's going to happen?
That's the obvious one.
I'll bet you. You know what's going to happen? Dave Roberts.
That one wouldn't shock me.
Gone.
Although I felt like we've had 3 different off seasons where that was like a foregone conclusion. It didn't happen.
I would be mildly surprised if he wasn't fired by the end of today, and really surprised if he wasn't fired by the end. They have to. And I'm not saying it's because of him. We'll get to Kings in a second. I'm not saying it's because of him. But it's not.
So if he gets fired today,
yeah.
Is he the Yankees manager in 2 weeks if they lose today?
Probably.
Jason Ross?
No.
You don't think Aaron Boone's got the Yankees lose today?
I don't want to think about the last part of your statement.
If
the Yankees lose today.
While we get to the Kings,
I'm just asking a question.
Frankie's going to join us in the next segment to talk Kings as well. I want you guys to all mull something over. We'll get back to later in the show.
Will Vivek hire Dave Roberts to replace Monty McNair at the end of the season?
Are the Los Angeles Dodgers? I say this with no tongues in cheeks. Are the Los Angeles Dodgers the most disappointing dynasty ever?
Yes.
In American sports?
More than the Braves. Yes.
Well, wait, can I nitpick that? How are they a dynasty?
I mean, okay, if you were here,
without the end prize.
Air quotes dynasty.
Okay.
Like, and you bring up the Braves. You're talking about the Braves, the Steve Avery, Greg Matt. Yeah, and that's
more Smoltz and Glavine than Avery, but sure.
I always put Steve Avery first because nobody does. Yes.
There's a reason for that.
We'll get back to that in a little bit. The Sacramento Kings have announced their final roster. Mostly expected. I know there were some questions as to whether or not Dellavedova would make it. He does. Sam Merrill on his way to other pastures. And Ellison Queta, we knew this, two-way deals. Keegan Murray has entered health and safety protocol. We got that news over that was yesterday, wasn't it? We heard that. Yeah. So interesting because now he is fully questionable for Wednesday's home opener.
Yeah, and I think, as far as the roster part, I think was it Friday after we aired the Quinn Cook audio, then they ultimately released him. I think that was one of the battles was Cook versus Dellavedova. So once Cook was out, I think Dellavedova looked like he was going to be the one in. And I don't know, maybe when they signed Bazemore, I don't know that I thought he wouldn't be on the team. But then as things developed, it's like, I could maybe see how there's not really a spot for him. So we're also, Dave, talking about really guys 13, 14, 15. So, I mean, the meat of the team was expected, and they hopefully have one of their better rosters we've seen in a while.
Well, that roster looked fantastic on Friday, and one of the reasons, if not the reason, was some amazing defense.
Now to Damian Jones. Backdoor cut. Beverly. Shot rejected from the weak side. Opala. And he is called for a foul, and he is not happy.
KZ blocked Paula on
nice.
Thank you, on Westbrook, who would later leave the game. By the way, that was challenged by Mike Brown. And by the way, we could play that breaking news sounder again. We won't. You want to, Jay? Go ahead.
Breaks, we have it first. Sactown Sports 1140. Breaking news.
The Kings want a challenge. They want a challenge. And I'm looking here at Live Sports Bureau. That is the first challenge the Sacramento Kings have won since 1997. Before challenges were even allowed, Jason.
That's an amazing stat.
Yeah, Mike Brown. I will say this. It was preseason. I get it. Couple of things you can fade that down, Jay. Couple of things that Mike Brown is doing that I'm very curious if it's going to stay that way during the regular season or if he's going to fade it out. Number one, please don't challenge a play like that in the regular season in the first quarter. I know the philosophy might be, listen, if it's a bad call, you really should not challenge anything before the fourth quarter, in my opinion. Like, regardless, it's 2 points. Do you disagree?
No, I mean, unless it's just something, I guess we would need context, like, hey, it would have been a fourth foul on Giannis in the first half or something like that. But by and large, yeah, I would think you don't want to be in a spot where you wish you had a challenge later in a meaningful moment.
I think you bring up a great point. I think other than it putting the other team's superstar in foul trouble or keeping your team's star out of foul trouble, as a rule, never challenge before the fourth quarter. So what? You got the 3-pointer. You got the 2-pointer. Doesn't matter. You need that in the fourth. Screw it. Give those points up now so you have an opportunity. It's just you don't know what that situation is going to be in the fourth when you're sitting there without your challenge. They won the challenge, though. That was awesome. And then to end the half, this really brought the house down.
Kendrick Nunn starts right, sealed off beautifully by Davion. Now he comes back left. Mitchell knocks the ball away. Mitchell dives to the floor. He tips it toward a teammate. It's grabbed by Harrison Barnes. 2 seconds to go. A launch to beat the buzzer from 28 feet off the heel of the rim. No good.
Not going to lie. Had that shot gone in, I think it would have been the loudest that crowd's been since Bogdan Bogdanovic against the Lakers.
But those are the kind of plays that, just are so contagious.
They really are. And I think, we talked about this earlier, Jason. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 4-1. The Kings are 4. You look at, and this isn't the same for every team, but you look at the preseason standings and you see teams like Orlando, teams like Oklahoma City, even a team like Houston, I think is 3-1. You look at them and go, okay. And then you look even at kind of the bottom of the preseason standings. And I'm not trying to, again, this is not trying to yuck anyone's yum. This is just the facts of the matter here. The Bucks are 0-5. The Cavs are 1-3. The Suns are 1-3. Clippers 2-2. Golden State 3-2. Grizzlies 3-2. Those are almost all certainly playoff teams. I don't put a lot of stock in preseason, but the Sacramento Kings giving up 89.8 points, which is by double digits plus less than what second place is. They're not going to do that in the regular season. I don't see any way for them to be a top 15 defensive team in the regular season. But you can tell that they're listening. You can tell that Mike Brown is engaged on defense. And I think those are real things that can carry over into the regular season.
I hope so, because I like what we're seeing. It's been impressive. Yeah, again, you kind of temper the enthusiasm because, as you said, it is just preseason. But, if there is substantial improvement, it has to start somewhere. And I hope these are the building blocks to getting that improved defense because, it looks like they're building a base there, but is that fool's gold? I don't know. But as long as it's better, I think, or it just has to be better, Dave. I think that's something that's non-negotiable. If this defense isn't better, then it's going to be a long season.
I think it will be better. But I heard you react when I said I don't think they can be top 15. And let me explain why. There's a little bit of fool's gold in the preseason. I think they did in the preseason what they need to do, which is rely on communication, philosophy, and effort, because ultimately, other than Davion Mitchell, other than KZ Okpala, and maybe Keegan Murray, you don't have any lockdown or plus defenders on this team. Now, what happened in the preseason? They played the Lakers twice, the Suns, and the Trailblazers.
Well, a version of the Suns.
A version of the Suns, yes, because guess what? The Suns did not have DeAndre Ayton amongst others. Now, the Lakers, they didn't play Anthony Davis in the last game. They did play him in the first game. The Trailblazers have nobody really in the middle that played any sort of numbers. But let me point out in that very first game, Jason, Anthony Davis had 11 points and 11 rebounds in 16 minutes. Here's why I think the preseason is a little bit fool's gold, because I think the Kings are going to get killed down low. That's where they're going to get killed down low during the regular season. Sabonis isn't a defender. What are you going to rely on? And Keegan's going to help, but Keegan's not going to outmuscle anybody. Where Keegan's going to be is a lot like where Tyrese Halliburton was. I think he's going to be incredibly high IQ defender with a nose for passing lanes and disrupting the ball flow. That's where he's going to come in handy. But Keegan's not shutting down huge power forwards, and Sabonis isn't shutting down, or even I don't know how much they'd be slowing down your bigger centers. Your best on-ball defender comes off the bench. And I'm not saying this to poo-poo their defensive effort. I think it's great. It's certainly not going to be 89 points or 99 points a game, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but hey, so far so good what we're watching.
Yeah, so far so good what we're watching. They move into Wednesday. I would say this. I don't nitpick, Jason. Could the preseason have gone any better?
I wouldn't. I mean, no, it was perfect.
And we could sit here and say, well, Fox could average 40 and Keegan could average. But I mean, realistically, I don't think the preseason could have gone much better. The fact that you end on a 133-86 absolute smashing of the Lakers, I think that made everybody listen. Anytime you beat the Lakers, it's great. It doesn't matter if it's the preseason or otherwise. You beat the Lakers. Not only they beat the Lakers, they demoralize. I mean, they're. I shouldn't say they demoralized them. LeBron James doesn't care, but they absolutely slashed them.
And I'm here for it. I loved it. Loved it.
You believe the line on that last game was Kings by 4.5
against the Lakers? They covered.
Frankie Cartoscelli, along with Chris Watkins, who debuted his weekly show on Saturday, went fantastic. and the rest of our crew putting together just a ton of coverage for you this year, not just on the Niners and everything else around Sacramento, but obviously a huge focus, the main focus on the Sacramento Kings. Frankie's going to hop in and join us next. We'll have a roundtable a little bit on this Kings preview. We'll run some of this stuff by him. Don't go away. We're right back.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
At Elk Grove Honda, we know that the past year has been challenging to find the Honda you're looking to drive home. But now, at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a steady basis, including new Accords, Civics, CR-Vs, and more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory is as large as it's ever been. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. You know, it's amazing how the housing market has shifted so quickly over the last few months, and having the right mortgage company on your side is crucial in this ever-changing market. We've got just that lender. Of course, it's my guy Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. You can check him out at refinancewithshelby.com. Shelby's team, well known in the real estate market, from real estate agents, title companies, appraisal companies. That makes all the difference. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved up front so you can compete with the cash offers. They're local, fast, and competitive. Even with rates rising slightly from their record lows, there's been an increase in inventory. The market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of settling for what was available. The team at United Wholesale Lending can pre-approve you over the phone in under 15 minutes without even running your credit. Refinancewithshelby.com. That's refinancewithshelby.com. NLS number 279051, BRE number 01864354.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Coastside Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home, or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
Next Tuesday, it's golf and guitars at Hagen Oaks with Ryan Hurd. Love and Pet.
There's a little bit of devil in an angel eyes.
Jackson Dean.
Don't come on looking.
Connor Smith, Restless Road, Jason Michael Carroll, Jordan Fletcher, and more. Grab your tickets for only $35 at golfandguitars.com. It's Golf and Guitars next Tuesday at Hagen Oaks.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
And I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
I want to remind you, Wednesday after the opening night, I'll be on doing the post game for a few minutes. So we'll give you all the details on that. I'll be doing it live from the home cave, deciding what outfit to wear depending on whether or not they win or lose. Let me tell you, if they lose, sad thing is if they lose, it's going to be a better post-game show than if they win, just from an entertainment value, because I might actually I might actually draw blood on the air on myself. Like I might just bang my head against the webcam so hard that it draws blood in the middle of my forehead. That's not going to happen, though. And I want to remind everybody that all our guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Joining us right now, Sacramento Kings beat writer for Sactown Sports 1140. He'll be joining us on a regular basis as we roundtable the Sacramento Kings. Frankie Cartoscelli. Frankie, it's Dave, it's Jason, it's Jay. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, fellas. Happy opening week. Enjoying a cool morning here in Sac. It's been nice to put a hoodie on for the first time and can't remember how long, but I'm excited to watch some Kings basketball.
We would have Frankie in studio normally. In fact, I had alluded to that before the show, but because of our shuffling this week, Frankie joins us via the phone. Frankie, we were just talking about the preseason, how maybe it couldn't have gone any better, but it is preseason. You tell me the number one thing you think is going to carry over somewhat into the regular season.
I think basically, I mean, the good vibes of everything. It might sound corny, but really just being at practice and seeing how these guys are having fun, how they've really bought into this new coaching staff, seeing how the coaches have bought into this team too, just seeing how everybody's been acting. It's really kind of contagious. It kind of affects you when you watch it. It feels night and day different from last year, which I think also is something you can say is a very preseason thing to say that I think people might say, okay, well, we say that every season. Well, no, not last year. There was a lot of kind of factors going into the dark cloud, I guess, I was hanging over this team. The Luke Walton uncertainty. People were kind of calling for his head at a certain point, wondering why he was brought back. Marvin Bagley clearly was unhappy. The announcement came the night before opening night that he wasn't going to be in the rotation. Buddy Hield obviously had his issues. So just the fact that all these players seem, number one, happy to be here. Two, they're just buying into Mike Brown's system. I think it's going to carry over. I think that's going to make a difference too as far as the play on the floor.
So, Frankie, the last couple of seasons, I think there were pockets of the year where it looked like, okay, the Kings maybe have their stuff together, and then boom, a 9-game losing streak, another 9-game losing streak. Last year, different things kind of derailed the way the season was going. Things are positive to start the year. How do they keep it from going down a negative path if it starts to go that way?
I mean, a full buy-in, and the fact that they have this new head coach, Mike Brown, who has been there before. He's coached in Cleveland with LeBron James. He's coached in Los Angeles, Kobe Bryant. He's been a part of the Warriors dynasty, a guy that has been there through ups and downs, more ups than downs in that matter. But it's going to take everybody to kind of buy into that system. And seeing De'Aaron Fox, who is more upbeat than he has been in the past couple of seasons after looking completely defeated at the beginning of last year, having him on board, having your veterans that you brought in Kevin Huerter, you have Harrison Barnes back in the fold. Domantas Sabonis is here for a full season to play with Fox. You have Malik Monk off the bench with De'Aaron Fox, his good buddy from college. You have all these factors that kind of go into that chemistry. And I think that's one of the things that the Kings lacked was chemistry and being able to kind of dig out of those holes and work in unison. That's going to be huge, just being all on the same page. And those 9-game losing streaks, as we've seen over the past 2 seasons, they are quite literally what can cost you a season. The Kings have missed the play-in by 2 games or so over the past 2-3 seasons since the play-in was implemented. So that will be the biggest difference. Can you trim those 9-game losing streaks down to a more modest 4 or 5 that you see some of even the better teams go through? You can't have those long losing streaks, otherwise you're just not going to make it there at the end of the season.
Hi, I should have my microphone on. Frankie Cartoscelli joining us, Kings beat writer for Sactown Sports. Hey, I'm trying to figure out this defense. 89 or 88.9 points a game. That's obvious. They're not doing that in the regular season. But I to get them around average. Average would be like, it's kind of like making the play-in. Average would be a field day. So without a lockdown defender in the starting 5, without really even by the numbers, we don't know about Keegan yet, even if he does start, or Okpala, without really an above-average defender in the top 5. How do they get around 15th or even, dare I say, better, Frankie?
It's going to come down to every player just becoming even a little bit better of a defender. I mean, a little might be, stretching that. I think everyone needs to increase their defensive intensity by a lot. But you see what De'Aaron Fox can do when he turns it on. And I think that the trivial answer every year has been which opposing guard is going to have a career high against the Kings. That's something I think that's a game we've all been playing for a while now. So if De'Aaron Fox and you have Davion Mitchell behind him, if those guys can kind of lock down that end of things, that's going to kind of stop the ball at the very beginning. And then you see down in the paint, that's kind of the concern. The Kings don't really have a quote-unquote rim protector. Rashawn Holmes had his moments over the past couple of years. I think he averaged a block and a half, 1.3 blocks per game the past 2 seasons, but I don't think you can really count on him to be taking care of all that on that end. You need Domantas Sabonis to kind of show something that we haven't seen from him before. We need to see him play above average or at least average defense, because this team needs some rim protection. And that might be something to keep an eye on if the Kings are competitive and if they do play well over the first couple months of the season. Maybe see who's out there. Who can they come bring in to upgrade that end of things on the bench or maybe even the starting lineup? Again, the power forward position is going to be fluid. KZ Okpala, I would imagine, even if Keegan Murray does return, probably will start on opening night. I think Mike Brown has made it clear he prioritizes having that kind of length and defense in the starting lineup. And it's Mike Brown we're talking about. I mean, he's been a defensive guy everywhere that he's gone. So the guys with Mike Brown, I think that everyone's going to take a step forward, and they're going to have to if they want to improve on that end.
Frankie, in the preseason, part of the Kings' success has been their depth. I think this is a really deep roster that when they got into the Lakers' depth and the Blazers' depth, and the Suns didn't play their normal guys, but I felt like they really took advantage of those games in the preseason. Well, when the regular season starts Wednesday, teams trim it down and play 7, 8, 9 guys and their best guys. How much do you think the Kings' depth will help them, or how much will they utilize that as this year goes along?
I think it's going to be huge. I think that this is the deepest team on paper that they've had, in my opinion, since the playoff drought. I mean, there could be an argument for the Rajon Rondo, George Karl season. That team had some talent as well, but this is a little different. And I think it's the fact that you have at each position someone who you wouldn't mind sliding into the starting lineup. I mean, if in a pinch, if you had to, because if Keegan Murray's your backup 4, that's not so bad. If Rashawn Holmes is your backup center, that's arguably the best bench to starting center unit in the NBA. Obviously, then you get down the board. You look at Malik Monk. He's someone who a lot of people wanted to be starting, want to have in the starting lineup. He's someone that you can feel comfortable bringing in. It just kind of goes on down the list, and that's something the Kings have not had over the years. They have not had the luxury of being able to lose a player, whether it be to injury or what have you, and having a replacement that you think it won't be that significant of a drop-off. And that, to me, is a big difference from this year's team, to the past couple of years. So I guess give credit to Monty McNair and his staff for bringing in the talent that De'Aaron Fox has needed for the past couple of seasons, and now it's time to get the ball rolling.
Last thing for you, Frankie, as we talked to Frankie Cartoscelli, Kings beat writer for Sactown Sports. Can we just take a moment, and I mean zero disrespect to KZ Okpala, and no, it's not one of those times where I'm about to disrespect him. Facts are facts. He's been with Miami 3 years. He's played a total of 63 games. He was a second-round pick. I'm very aware, by the way, that Draymond Green and the defending 2-time MVP were also second-round picks. But if Mike Brown starts for any length of time, KZ Okpala over a top 5 pick in the draft who has had a stellar preseason and a stellar summer league, Mike's going to need to keep the passenger seat clear so he can have his cojones resting on it when he drives into Golden One Center. I mean, is that really a thing?
I believe that it's only a matter of time. I think Keegan Murray was in line to start that Phoenix game. I think he maybe even would have started the final game of the preseason. I think Mike Brown, who's always been open to the fact that it's going to be kind of an open competition. It's going to be a fluid situation, and until it isn't really. And the way that happens is if Keegan Murray goes out there and plays his game for the first 5 to 10 games of the season, I think there's going to be a change pretty quickly, because it's very clear that you see it it was preseason and summer league, but you can see it on the floor that Keegan Murray is a top 3-4 talent on this team, and he's going to deserve to be in that starting lineup. So to me, I'm not reading too much into it. I think it's nice that Mike Brown is prioritizing defense and wants to have someone like KZ in the lineup, but I think that's going to have to, push is going to come to shove if Keegan Murray's the second leading scorer for the Kings here a week into the season. It's a matter of time.
Yeah. Hey, Frankie, really fast. Who wins Game 5 tonight?
Oh man, come on. You know the answer. The Bronx, baby.
Wow.
The Bronx will be rocking. The
Wow.
Bronx will be rocking.
Cleveland fan, Frankie. Wow.
No.
Is that?
No, the Bronx.
Oh,
the Yankees.
I thought you meant the Bronx would be rocking in anger as everyone was boo.
Oh no.
All right.
Aaron Judge. Yeah, all right.
Check
Market correction.
Check out Sactown Sports and all of the outlets, written, video, sound, and so much more. We're all super proud of Frankie as he is part of that next generation. Chris Watkins on Saturday. These guys working their tails off, doing tremendous work. And we'll be talking to Frankie throughout the season. Thank you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it. Have a good week.
All right. Take care. You too. We'll take a break. When we come back, normally we'd have Matt Barrows, but he's in the air. He's flying right now. Boy, are his arms tired, right? Right. So we will talk about the Niners. We'll recap that a little bit, go around the NFL as well, and get back to the Kings at 8:13. Don't go away. We're right back.
When it comes to the Kings, nobody has you covered like we do.
So you've been in Atlanta, a successful team. This team has not been there. They have high hopes. What do you see with the Kings this year?
There's been guys in here that have won at a high level in this league before and are just trying to come here and do the same. And I think we're all on the same page, know what we need to do. So just got to go out there and do it.
The best Kings talk, the flagship.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814.
$100 off on 4 of its most popular lines, now through November 6th, with its Grand Slam rebate. Get up to a $100 rebate on a select set of Ford passenger or light truck tires. Ask about Hankook's wide selection of trailer tires. See dealer for details. Radial Tire Service in Sacramento is your one-stop tire shop, providing their customers with excellent service for an affordable price. Don't wait. Come in and hit a Grand Slam with your tire game with a premium Hankook Tire Grand Slam rebate. Hankook, driving emotion.
Hey, it's Carmichael, Dave, and listen, even though it may not feel like it sometimes, fall is officially here. The weather may be a little bit uncomfortable, too warm for me. 1 minute it's cool and raining. I love that. But the next day it's hot and sunny. What can make you comfortable inside, though, is knowing your AC and furnace will be working properly and efficiently for whatever temperature it is outside. Take advantage of American Energy's $49 AC or furnace 30-point tune-up today. Make sure you and your family are ready for the changing weather. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you a fan of Twin Peaks? Sign up for our e-club and stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just visit twinpeaksrestaurant.com/peaks-club to get started today.
I'm with Vince Bloom, the big guy at last year's Elk Grove Dodge. I know Halloween's coming up, Vince. Must be why you're wearing the Count Dracula costume.
Count Dracula?
You know, the tuxedo and bow tie, the black cape.
I think you mean Count Ramula, because during Ram Power Days, I'm taking a bite out of prices on Ram 1500 Bighorns.
A big bite?
A $9,000 bite.
You mean $9,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorns?
And that's not all. Right now at Elk Grove Dodge, save $9,000 off MSRP on 24 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 48 months.
Can you say that with the Count Ramula voice?
Look, it's enough that you got me in this costume.
Now through Halloween, save $9,000 off 24 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Plus, get 0% financing. Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Includes $4,500 in California and Chrysler Capital bonus and retail bonus cash on approved credit. 0% APR for 48 months is $20.83 per $1,000 borrowed. Sample in $39.57.96, ends 10/31/22.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. The primetime football giveaway, it's back. They're giving away a total of $500 for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento, with plenty of well-lit parking and some of the best food in a friendly environment. For more information on tournaments and gaming, please log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. As always, 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, it's Sactown Sports 1140. Sactown Sports Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. It was a rough Sunday for the 49ers as San Francisco fell to the Falcons in Atlanta 28-14. If the loss wasn't bad enough, the 49ers continue to rack up injuries to key players. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey left the game during the second quarter with a left calf injury, while starting quarterback Charvarius Ward also left the game in the second quarter with a growing injury. No timetable has been set for either's return. The Sacramento Kings wrapped up the preseason with a dominating win over the Lakers at Golden One Center, defeating LA 133-86 behind 19 points from De'Aaron Fox in just 24 minutes. The Kings opened the regular season at home on Wednesday against the Blazers. The NLCS is set after the Phillies dispatched the Braves in 4 games, and the San Diego Padres upset the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Guy yesterday decided to put $55 down on a parlay. Just straight winners. Oh, I wish it was me, Jay said in my ear. Puts $55 down on the following teams to win outright: the Steelers, the Vikings, the Seahawks, Colts, Falcons, Patriots, Bengals, Giants, and Jets.
What?
$55. You know what he won, Jason?
What?
$397,759. Oof.
All of the money.
Just all of the money, right? Good for him. Welcome back. Let's talk 49ers. Here's the deal. Jay and I were talking during the break. Not about the real story, other than the Niners losing, is just their injuries, which seems to be a story every year. As a matter of fact, according to several different sites that have different, what would you call schematics, statistics, whatever, to figure out who's the most injured, not just, total players, because there's a difference between Bosa being injured and Fred Jackson being injured. You know what I'm saying? So the Baltimore Ravens, according to this site, were the most injured team in the NFL, right behind them, the San Francisco 49ers, followed by the Titans, the Saints, and the Broncos. But those 3 teams are actually a decent distance away from the Niners and the Ravens. To look a little bit deeper, Jason, Trent Williams, Mike McGlinchey, who's got a calf issue now, Charvarius Ward, left with a groin issue, Tyler Kroft, the backup tight end, Danny Gray, one of the backup wide receivers, Nick Bosa we knew about, Jimmy Ward we knew about, Armstead, Mosley, Kinlaw, Verrett, McKivitz, Al-Shaair, and then obviously Trey Lance, Elijah Mitchell. You can even throw in a Jordan Matthews and Maurice Hurst, on and on and on. Here's my honest question to you. Take all of those players, okay, make them instantly healthy. Fill out the rest of that squad of those healthy players with free agents and have them play the Niners' healthy squad right now. And they don't have to fill anything out because they've already got the depth. So the Niners can have the rest of their roster and the players they get Debo, they get Jimmy,
Kittle and so on.
Kittle,
Ayuk,
Fred Warner, Ayuk, all that. The Niners get their injured players Which, by the way, let's just start with the fact that they got a pretty good offensive line and a pretty good edge rusher there. They get Trey Lance, they get Elijah Mitchell, on and on and on. Like, that's at least a really good game, is it not?
Oh, for sure. Because I think, based on player rankings, I think the top 4 rated players, if I'm not mistaken, were Trent Williams, Bosa. So you'd have those 2 on that injured team.
Yeah.
Kittle, Debo, and maybe Warner. So you'd have those on the current team. I don't know. I think that would be really good. There'd be some spots that would feel like they would be a little light on the injured team, but man, the trenches, though, you have your best 2 line guys, right? In Bosa and Williams, Armstead too. That would be a game. It certainly would be, which is sad.
Which is really sad.
Yeah. And I just think about the schedule now. I mean, they played 6, and if you look back on it, who's the best team they played? The Rams?
Yeah.
I mean, and they're 3-3, and that's okay based on injury. I mean, it's just okay. Like yesterday, I don't even know if I consider it a terrible. I saw some people like, what's the worst loss? The Chicago, Denver, or Atlanta? It's not Atlanta by a long shot to me. I think it's Chicago or Denver.
I agree.
But they're all adding up now, and now you have to say, okay, can you get right? And if we just look at the next 3 games, there's a bye week here.
Yeah.
But you got Kansas City coming off really a close call with the Raiders and a loss to the Bills, so they seem vulnerable, but that's also a scary team to play to try to get right against. Then the Rams again, who you've had ownage on, but and then a bye week, and then the Chargers. I feel like if they can somehow get through this with 2 wins, they're in great shape. If it's 1, that's fine. If it's an offer, they got some catching up to do. So I mean, you're not going to get healthy overnight, but their schedule certainly ramps up here for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And they still have, after that, the Dolphins, the Buccaneers. They even go to Vegas to play the Raiders, who could be a completely different team record-wise. We talked about that by the time they play. Here's what is, and we're way too early. We're way too early. But imagine thinking this before the season started, Jason. The San Francisco 49ers, when it's all said and done, may end up being the beneficiaries of playing in a weak division, and they get into the playoffs based on the fact that, for all we know, I mean, listen, 9-8 means they go 6-5 the rest of the way. I mean, that's
doable.
Yeah, that does seem doable. You would have never told me 9-8 gets you the NFC West. But you've got listen, the Seahawks are actually, as much as I hate the Seahawks, I have to tip my cap to them. That's a tremendous coaching job by Pete Carroll. And really, I think Geno Smith is the feel-good story of the NFL this year, period, and a statement. He's been amazing. They get another gutty win against the Cardinals yesterday. And honestly, they lost to the Falcons by 4. They lost to the Saints by a touchdown. They're sitting on wins over the Broncos, the Lions, and the Cardinals. Now, the Seahawks, I do not believe are going to compete for the NFC West. I don't think Arizona is going to compete for the NFC West. It's going to come down to the 49ers and the Rams, but the Rams have some real problems.
Yeah, and then you think about, there's an extra team in the postseason now. There's certainly the value of being the 1 seed. Now, with Philadelphia all the way up at 6-0, I mean, that seems like they've got a really good lead, but, we've been talking about the surprise of the NFC being the NFC East, how well the Eagles, Cowboys, and even Giants have played. But I just think, there's some spots to be had in the NFC, and if the Niners can kind of just make their way through this just injury-plagued season, now if they keep adding up, it's going to get closer to the, 2 years ago, where they just had too many injuries and they never could overcome it, and that was when Jimmy G went out, and then they went to Mullins and different guys. They didn't have it. Now they've got a ton of injuries now, but it's not like there's a bunch of season enders. They've got a couple, but there are guys expected to be back, and hopefully soon.
Jimmy Garoppolo says they beat themselves.
Self-inflicted wounds was that was the story of the day. Those are correctable, but it's just you can't have them. You can't have as many as we had out there, and when you do have them, you got to overcome it. And we didn't do that today.
Yeah, that's a lot of what happened. So. You mentioned it. They now go and play. Hey, gets easier because now they're going to go play a very angry Chiefs team.
Yeah, and that's where you just hope you get a couple of defensive guys back. It didn't sound like it was long-term for Bosa, maybe not even for Armstead. So if you had them and close to their full ability, I'd really like to see the Niners defense in their elite level against the Chiefs. I think that would be pretty fun dynamic.
Well, that would be a fun game. I wish you could have every single one. I don't know what the crazy injuries are if there are in Kansas City, but whoever they have injured, make them healthy. Make every 49er healthy, and let's go, because that's a fun game. As of right now, I'm so tired of predicting the NFL this year, and it's a good thing because it's gone so wonky. I do not see, unless the Niners get like half their defense back, without Trent Williams, probably without Mike McGlinchey, whether or not Bosa plays or not. Like you mentioned, Armstead, Jimmy Ward, Jason Verrett, Azeez Al-Shea, or whatever. How are you stopping that Chiefs team? Like, how are you stopping that Chiefs team?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the ways, obviously, is on the defensive end, but the other way is to establish Jeff Wilson Jr. again. I mean, that running game has to be good, and it wasn't yesterday. The previous 2 weeks, he was going over 100 and considerably over 100 2 weeks ago. So if they can find the time of possession, the ball control, limit the turnovers, dominant ground game mixed in with effective passing game, and then, pick your spots. You're going to move the Chiefs are going to move the ball and score on you, but are they scoring, once to twice a half as opposed to 3, 4, 5 straight possessions, which they showed they could do against the Raiders?
We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get back to the Kings. Is the defense better? Was this just the preseason? We have some numbers for you. We want to know, are you buying it or not? We're back right after this.
Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami. Interviews, podcasts, and more. They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
Your back-to-back Big Sky champions Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, October 22nd, for a nationally televised game against the Montana Grizzlies. It's time to pack Hornet Stadium and get loud for the primetime matchup with two top nationally ranked teams. Don't miss the excitement of Sacramento State football this season as your Hornets aim for another Big Sky championship. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
Got a take? Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now.
Call or text at 916-339-1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Probably not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to plug an appearance that I have tomorrow on a completely different broadcast platform. Yeah, I'm going to do it right in front of management, too. I will be on the Hoop World podcast. The only reason I'm bringing that up is, how cool is this? It's our guy Dante Green starting a podcast.
Hey.
Yeah, he's done with retired from basketball and is getting into the world of podcasting. He's got a couple partners on there, so he texted me and said, "Hey, you want to be a guest on my show?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So I love Dante so much. He's just a good dude. And we'll have to have him on here once the season gets going, because I know he still keeps an eye on the Sacramento Kings. But how about that, Jason? Guys that we knew as rookies are now retired and doing podcasts.
That's, well, I'm happy, but it's also aging all of us, isn't it?
Jason, seriously, you, I'm sure like me, have very strong and seemingly recent memories of Dante, Jason Thompson getting their cars popcorned.
Of course, or being in studio.
Yeah.
Golly, yeah.
The Dante Green Show.
Uh-huh.
The Dante Green Show was fantastic. Yep, and now they're old men. So there you go.
But we're not.
Well, we're not. Young at heart. And hey, now the Kings season starts Wednesday. Sactown Sports has all of your coverage as the flagship of the Sacramento Kings. And I don't know, Jason. I was just about to say it. I don't remember the last time there was this much optimism. But honestly, Was there this much optimism last year?
I know I was, but I don't. Here's where I feel like it's different this year. This is the one thing that's different, not in the coach or the players. Where I feel like the optimism feels different is it's not always coming from Sacramento this year. Where, like, if you were optimistic or I was optimistic or, pick Sean Cunningham, pick your Kings kind of person that covers the team. Optimism, that's fine. We're close to it. We should have a feel. We could maybe be too optimistic. But that there's more writers and more people that cover the NBA that are optimistic than I can remember. And to me, that stands out more so than even if there's local optimism.
Yeah, that is true. There is some national optimism. And I really struggle with this whole thing. I struggle with this stuff because, first off, I'm not used to optimism. Secondly, I struggle between, hey, listen, this might be, and let's just be honest, this may be, and you may even dare say odds are, the best time of the year for Kings and Kings fans right now, and maybe over the next week or two. Like, this may be the high point. We said that jokingly last year, and you know what? The first, 3 weeks of the season was the high point. I think the only other thing might be that Minnesota game and that little mini stretch once Fox came back and Sabonis made his debut. But that was more of an insulated, this guy's making his debut thing and not so much about the season being relevant. We haven't had the last time we were even close to playing games that were relevant towards the end of the year was Dave Yeager's last year when the team fell apart, when they were flirting with 500 and weren't really even flirting with the playoffs. So there's a lot to be optimistic about, but I think Kings fans, some of them at least, are very rightfully doing the whole I'm Missouri, show me state type of thing.
Understandable, right? With everybody, I don't even know if they've been burned, how many people have been bought in over the years. But, I think the other part about it is even trying to be, even if you have doubt in your mind or optimism in your mind, wherever you fall in there, I think looking at a lot of the things they've done, I just go with the phrase makes sense. Like, I think, okay, I don't know if Keegan Murray is going to be the rookie of the year or a future MVP or a Hall of Famer or an all-star, but you look at the pick, and yes, there was controversy on draft night, but now that you've seen him play, you kind of look at it and go, that makes a lot of sense. Looks like a player that would make any team better. Sabonis for Halliburton, certainly a controversial trade because we are all so attached to Tyrese, and he was a really terrific player and still may become a terrific player, but you see what Sabonis can provide. I think there's a lot of things. Hey, this team needs shooting. Who did they have? Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. I just think a lot of the things they've done make sense, and you can see how there's a path where they can be better. Coach Brown holding the team accountable a little bit more with playoff experience. These things all seem to line up, Dave, with things that would lead to an improved team. But again, show me state, right? Proof is in the pudding. They gotta do that, and it's not just Wednesday, and it's not just Saturday. This is for the long haul that they've got to show this improvement to be that team that they want to be.
Are you as worried as I am about their lack of defensive players with a defensive coach?
I'm not ideally you have, 3 all-league defenders to be a great defensive team. They don't have that. But I do look at a couple of other teams that got better defensively. And I don't know. I don't look at Memphis as this team filled with defensive studs. But if you buy in and you go to a concept that you say, hey, for us to win games, we have to commit on this end of the floor. I think there's a few other teams that are like that you have to just have that in your DNA. And the Kings, certainly, it's been so far from their DNA so far in the preseason. It looks like they've implemented that, but that has to have staying power, and that has to overcome a night where you don't have it and you give up 130. Is that a one-night thing, and can you get it right back the next game? That's what I'll be watching for on this defensive end.
To be clear, I don't disagree with you in your Memphis example. I'm honestly just curious. Is from a defensive standpoint only, is Jaren Jackson Jr. better than anyone on the Kings in your opinion?
Defensively?
Yeah.
Well, certainly interior, yes.
Yeah. No.
I think Davion's pretty spectacular defensively. I really do.
Yeah. That's what kind of worries me is they just what is going to happen to these guys once real basketball starts? What is going to happen to these guys on the interior?
Yeah, I think that's an area that seems a little bit, not a little. I think that's a weakness. I would say I'm bothered by free throw shooting even in the preseason. So you feel like that. I don't think that's going to dramatically get better. I think their most foul-prone guys are Fox and Sabonis, and they're not elite free throw shooters. So I don't anticipate, like when, DeMarcus turned out to be a good free throw shooter. Kevin Martin was a great free throw shooter. Mike Bibby, like if those guys get fouled all the time, well, you're looking at 85% or better. Like that's going down. So a couple areas that I worry about, but it's also, I think, Dave, the other thing that this team has shown, I mean, I think this would be almost proven. I don't think they've been mentally tough.
Sure.
And so, Fox is still a leader of this team, and, it's not all going to him, but if you're the best player on the team for the last 3 to 5 years that you've been here and your team has multiple losing streaks, you got to get that team out of that. And he hasn't been able to do that. So things are good now. Things haven't mattered yet as far as regular season. But if they hit that 2, 3, 4 games, can it just stop there and then they redirect and win the next 3? That is something this team has shown they have not been able to do.
And I think you bring up a great point, other than the defensive worries. And again, listen, let's not forget 89.5 points. That's what they held opponents to. It was insane, or 88.9 or whatever it was. Like ridiculous that you're holding opponents under 90 points. It was there. We pointed out earlier, they weren't really looking at any big men that they were dealing with other than Anthony Davis for about a quarter, and he had a double-double on him. So that's a worry there, number one. But you pointed something out we haven't talked to yet, which is this: Fox, Sabonis, not plus defenders. And oh my goodness, the free throws, and really the free throws on the entire team have been atrocious in the preseason.
They have been. And that, most NBA games, most of them come down to the last 3 minutes in a 2-possession game. And if you're missing those consistently, that will cost you a couple of games. And 1-2 games a year. Well, if this team is what people think they could be, you're kind of at that edge of the play-in. So 1 to 2 games could be very significant.
I'm also looking at over-under win totals.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting, now that the preseason's done, they're getting more and more dialed in. I asked this of somebody yesterday, a friend of mine. Would you like to take a guess as to who has the lowest win total guesstimate from Vegas this year?
Which team?
Yeah.
Probably OKC.
OKC tied for second to last.
Who's last?
They're tied with the Rockets at 23.5 wins. As a matter of fact, it's a 3-way tie with the Pacers.
Spurs?
The San Antonio Spurs are favored to win the least amount of games in the NBA at 22.5.
Be careful with that one. They have one of the greatest coaches of all time that has them ready to play all the time. Now, they don't have the talent, but, I mean, that's the other thing I always look at. It. If the Spurs, let's just say they're that bad, and they get to that number, Dave, of 22. We'll just give them that number of wins, 22 wins.
Sure.
That means they got somebody, obviously, 22 times. Now, are they beating a team? Did they beat someone 3 times? Like, how damaging is that? Did they get 2 wins against the Kings or whoever that's, fighting for a spot? And you go, man, they only won 22 games, but they beat us 3 times. That would be bad for that team.
As we take a break, just remember the Sacramento Kings, according to Las Vegas, will win 33.5 games this year, right around that. They are the 11th ranked team in the Western Conference, behind the Blazers at a full 39.5. 6 full games ahead of the Kings. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go around baseball, talk about how big of losers the Dodgers are, and something I saw on the base paths, a home run trot that got me fired up, but probably not for the reasons you think. Let's talk about another way to improve baseball next.
Live and local. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to the start of a new work and school week. Your Monday forecast will include a mix of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures this afternoon a bit cooler than average. Expect highs in the mid-70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The next election is November 8th. Vote centers open October 29th. Vote early and vote by mail. Learn more at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Hey, it's Carmichael, Dave. And it's amazing how the housing market has shifted so quickly over the last few months, and having the right mortgage company on your side is crucial in this ever-changing market. We've got just that lender. Of course, it's my guy Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. You can check him out at refinancewithshelby.com. Shelby's team, well known in the real estate market, from real estate agents, title companies, appraisal companies. That makes all the difference. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved up front so you can compete with the cash offers. They're local, fast, and competitive. Even with rates rising slightly from their record lows, there's been an increase in inventory. The market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of settling for what was available. The team at United Wholesale Lending can pre-approve you over the phone in under 15 minutes without even running your credit. Refinancewithshelby.com. That's refinancewithshelby.com. NLS number 279051, BRE number 01864354.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Next Tuesday, it's Golf and Guitars at Hagen Oaks with Ryan Hurd.
I love chasing after you.
Love and Beth.
There's a little bit of devil in an angel eyes.
Jackson Dean.
If I don't come back, don't come a-looking.
Connor Smith, Restless Road, Jason Michael Carroll, Jordan Fletcher, and more. Grab your tickets for only $35 at golfandguitars.com. It's Golf and Guitars next Tuesday at Hagen Oaks.
At Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a steady basis. Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory is as large as it's ever been. Find the Honda you're looking for at Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or elkgrovehonda.com.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance, drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit GainswaveCalgary.ca.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Ben Hogan said, good golf starts with a good grip. It's true. If the golf club isn't in a square position after you grip it, you'll have to do something in the swing to manipulate it back to square. Otherwise, you're hitting big slices or duck hooks. Then you start gripping the club tighter, and that tension runs through the hands, up the arms, and into the shoulders. You're done before you even take the club back. 9 times out of 10, when I make a small adjustment in a friend's grip, the ball flight is much closer to straight or even a slight drop. You want to hold the club more in the fingers than in the palm, which allows your wrist to better hinge. The lifeline on your right hand will cover the thumb on your left. In this position, you'll see the top 2 knuckles on the back of your left hand, and the V created by the thumbs and forefingers should be parallel and point to your right shoulder. Grip pressure should be about 4 or 5 on a scale of 10. The correct grip is incredibly important, and if you're having issues, see your PGA golf professional. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men.
Sactown Sports Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. It was a rough Sunday for the 49ers as San Francisco fell to the Falcons in Atlanta 28-14. If the loss wasn't bad enough, the 49ers continue to rack up injuries to key players. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey left the game during the second quarter with a left calf injury, while starting quarterback Charvarius Ward also left the game in the second quarter with a growing injury. No timetable has been set for either's return. The Sacramento Kings wrapped up the preseason with a dominating win over the Lakers at Golden One Center, defeating LA 133-86 behind 19 points from De'Aaron Fox in just 24 minutes. The Kings opened the regular season at home on Wednesday against the Blazers. The NLCS is set after the Phillies dispatched the Braves in 4 games, and the San Diego Padres upset the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
0-2, swing and a miss. Freeman went after a slider in the dirt, and the ball game is over. The series is over. They defeat the Dodgers in 4 games to advance to the National League Championship Series.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The 94th most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Look at you, firing me up, coming back from break. A little Alice in Chains. Now, Josh Naylor was fired up last night against the Yankees.
The 2-2 pitch swung on, and that's launched high and deep right center. Home run, Naylor. Oh, and is he fired up around the bases?
Yep. What?
Whatever.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, if you haven't looked it up, he rounded the bases facing Garrett Cole most of the time, who we hit the home run off of, doing the rocking a baby motion, which is apparently because Garrett Cole was being referred to by Josh very loudly as his blanking son, which is something he regularly does, according to a teammate. If he hits a home run off a pitcher, he made that pitcher his son. So he's yelling at Garrett Cole as he's rounding the bases. By the way, it was 3-2 Yankees at the time. And he got to rock the baby all the way to a loss, and Garrett Cole got the win. Now, one of my favorite things in sports, honestly, and I can almost always throw out rooting interest here because I am rooting for the Guardians to win. I love few things more in sports than when the boxer who's talking all the garbage, both at the pre-fight and then during the match itself, or MMA fighter, gets knocked out. When the player is celebrating when they're down 42-3 or it ends up getting like, I actually really enjoy watching people being cocky get their knocked in the dirt. But Jason, whereas old me would have said, I don't know who came up. Let me look here. It was Naylor.
Oh, then it's
Gonzalez, Oscar Gonzalez. So Oscar Gonzalez, old school, should have had one at his ear. But now I'm like, okay, listen, first off, baseball is getting more and more boring, or at least people are getting less and less enthused. And you also shouldn't be throwing at people's heads or any part of their body because their teammate did the thing. So, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. Here's what I want. You're going to have Josh Naylor making a rear end of himself. And I just thought he looked stupid. You're down 3-2, dude. I understand. It's a miracle to hit a home run off a major league pitcher, especially Garrett Cole. You're fired up. But there's a line there where you just you show your rear end. It's just a little bit stupid. Like, get pumped, like yell at your teammates, do the thing, but you're directly showing up the pitcher who, by the way, won the ball game. Here's my thing. If you want to play that, awesome. That go ahead and play that. And if you want your one hit of the game to be that, fine. But Jason, then let's start getting pitchers. Garrett Cole last night struck out 8 Cleveland Guardians. Every single one then, or at least for the big ones, point at them, then point them to the dugout, shoo them into the dugout, wave them away as they're walking back. Wave them with both hands. Get your home crowd to join in.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The good pitchers, 7.5 to 8 out of 10 times, they're going to have the upper hand on these batters. So fine, if the batters want to pimp home runs like Rhys Hoskins, which is maybe the greatest pimping I've ever seen, the bat slam, I love that, then the pitchers need to get in on this too, start pimping your strikeouts.
Yeah, and going quickly to Rhys Hoskins, who's a Sac State guy, like by all accounts, like is so chill, so mellow. And he even said, he goes, wow, I just got caught up in the moment. I love that. Like, that is so out of character for him. But that one, he just spiked the bat and moved on. The Naylor one, I just didn't understand. I mean, you're right. It's a feat to hit a home run. I'm not anti-celebrate, but that was more, I like the celebration where it's really about the person that did the feat or the team joining in. But that felt like I'm embarrassing you.
Yeah.
You threw the pitch. I hit it out. Do a slow trot, spike the bat, flip it, point to your dugout, celebrate with the fans. But to say, I don't know, that you own, I did not like that one at all. And then the weird part is, I know in postseason, there's too many high leverage situations you really can't waste in at bat. I would never hit the next guy. I'm hitting Naylor, if anything, the next time he's up.
Yes.
Like, that's the guy who did it. I don't go after the next batter.
I don't want to sound like, but seriously, I agree with you. It was, you're down, get pumped up. That's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's great.
Yes.
But if we're not going to do the whole, you have to celebrate it. I hear people like, hey, you should be able to celebrate. Okay, fine. But again, the closest I ever saw, who was it? Was it Fernando Rodney with the arrow, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, that was cool. Like, let's start getting pictures, because now all of a sudden we got something. Now we've got him, as long as it doesn't always devolve into fights and balls.
Right.
Like, dude, if you've got, I wouldn't mind seeing this. This would make baseball more entertaining. If a batter and a pitcher are kind of going at it, let's have a conversation while the at-bat's going on. Let's talk a little garbage. Oh, you want a little bit of this? Check this curveball out. Scoop. Oh,
right.
Oh, go sit down. Bye-bye. Rock the baby. That's fine.
Well, it also has to be, here it's the playoffs. It's a little bit more tolerable. But, speaking of rock the baby, which is Westbrook's move, in the first preseason game, it was first quarter, and he scored on the Kings, got an and one, and he rocked the baby. I'm like, we're doing that in the preseason?
Yeah.
Come on now. This is postseason playoffs baseball. That's a little bit more acceptable on celebrating an achievement.
Couple of things here. So the Phillies get in. I'm getting really close. Again, no offense to your Yankees, but if we can somehow I love the fact that it's the Phillies and Padres. If we can somehow screw the Astros, there's no team I want to win less than the Astros. If we can somehow get the Guardians in the World Series against the Padres, that would be my favorite non-Giants World Series probably ever. Just because I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to challenge that.
All right.
I know where you're coming from because those teams haven't won, or the Guardians in forever.
Sure.
Are you seriously watching that with full interest? Or it's just like, hey, that's cool, and I'll appreciate the outcome because either the Guardians or the Padres will get a World Series?
I have fully adopted the Padres mainly because of Bob Melvin.
Yeah.
So for the postseason. So if the Padres were in it, I would be very invested. Not Giants invested, but I'd be invested.
Okay.
You're right, though. If it was like the Phillies and Guardians, no, you're right. I'd be like,
you're probably watching the first game or some of it, and, but let's say it's game 3 and the series is 1-1, so the third game's not dictating anything, and maybe the deciding game if someone's on the brink of elimination and to see if someone get crowned baseball's champ. But I don't know how much you'd be invested in that, and that's what I'm sure is a worry for baseball because we mentioned how regional the sport is. But you do have a couple of national teams, and a couple of those teams are out already, so that's gonna be tough for baseball.
And I'm not gonna deny either that let me see here. Yeah, easily the most glamorous team left is the Yankees.
Yeah,
Aaron Judge getting in there, there's no doubt about it. And it would be better for baseball, I think. I think there's something to Bob Melvin going to San Diego. San Diego always sucking, and them winning it in their first year. And I think there's something to the Guardians. The first year they're the Guardians. These are the Major League, one of the greatest baseball movies ever. Cleveland, like nothing happens in Cleveland, and boom, these Guardians that nobody expected to do anything this year. They're so dang young. But then at the same time, Jason, hey, listen, before we start getting all on the it's kind of like the Mets conversation we had earlier this year. Before we start getting in on the whole scrappy young Met or Padres. It's like they traded for Juan Soto, they signed Manny Machado, they got Bob Melvin, they've added all kinds of arm talent. Like, why is San Diego better this year? Because they spent.
Right, and they have been, and even one of their best young players hasn't played this year.
Well, exactly. Oh my God, what if Tatis? Well, here's the fun take of the weekend. There is a large, significant amount of Braves fans that legit think, or basically have said some sort of a version of this take. There's a reason why we won it last year when Acuna was out, because he's lazy. Like they were super. Wow. The venom he got. I don't know if you saw the inside the park home run over the weekend from JT Realmuto.
Yes.
So the ball caroms off and goes right. And apparently Acuna just sat there most of the time just watching. And to a lot of Braves fans, at least the ones that are being vocal, they're like, yeah, he's just lazy. And his head is rarely in the game. Now, again, these are Braves fans. This isn't Dave here saying, but that's an actual take that they won last year because he was out. I know.
Well, I got one more thought on baseball for you, Dave.
Yeah.
Who does America root for if the Yankees win tonight? Because people don't like the Yankees unless you're a Yankee fan, and people hate the Astros unless you're an Astro fan. So in the AL, that would be a really good series, but I don't even know if anybody wants either team to win.
You know what? I honestly, I can tell you from my point of view, I'm diehard. I'll wear a Yankee jersey in here if they're playing the Astros. I don't even care.
You hate the Astros that much?
Yes.
From those. So this team is still hated because of what happened 3 to 4 years ago.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of dirty. Well, okay, they're just a handful now of dirty, stinky, lame cheaters.
Wow, and this is their 5th year in a row in the ALCS. They're obviously good.
Also, it's kind of fun to hate the Astros. I don't know why. It's kind of and I acknowledge it's good for baseball. Listen, I know a lot of people hate the Yankees. I don't hate them. I don't like them, but I tip my cap and I respect their place and tradition. So I think baseball is better when the Yankees are good. Baseball is better when the New York Yankees are good. I think that's what I think. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got the news. We got celebrity birthdays, and Jordan Poole speaks on Draymond Green. We'll get to it next.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. When it comes to the Kings, nobody has you covered like we do.
Right now, we're joined by our friend Davion Mitchell.
The playoff drought is on Kings fans' minds. There's no way around that, Davion.
It's kind of been on everyone's mind, and that's the thing in Sacramento. But, we just try to go out there and be the hardest team to play every day. I think the main thing is we're going to play defense. I think this year we're going to come in a defensive-minded team, and I think that's going to win us a lot more games.
The best Kings talk. The flagship. Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
Let me see you move like you're in the concert event of a lifetime. Come experience the dynamic energy of one of the most accomplished musicians of our time, Carlos Santana. Blessings and Miracles Tour 2023, February 19th, 8 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley. Take a trip through the hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and a backwards flip into the unknown. All new and all incredible. The venue at Thunder Valley. On sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Life is full of choices. When buying a car, there's only one choice. Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Choose from our great selection and get top dollar for your trade. Pre-order today in person, online, over the phone, with no contract and no deposit necessary. Then simply pick it up when it arrives.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Cut him off. Stay in front of him. Okay, take a break. Sacramento, Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking whatever happened to the off season. Seems there's never any downtime. Now, I'm not complaining, but it means that we've got to be at our best every day. No excuses allowed. That includes pain in the feet, legs, hips, and back. Fortunately, thanks to the Good Feet 3-step arch support system, you no longer need to be sidelined with foot-related pain. For over 25 years, Good Feet arch supports have been designed to comfortably put all 4 arches of the foot and whole body in its more ideal pain-free position. Good Feet makes over 300 styles, sizes, and flexibilities of arch supports. And to make sure you get just the right pair, a Good Feet arch support specialist will give you a free personalized fitting and test walk. Do your best every day with the pain-free comfort, balance, and support of Good Feet arch support. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto, online at goodfeet.com.
So as you graduate and head out into the world, there's only one thing that you need to know.
Hi, this is Jamie from Progressive. Yeah, I can talk now. Progressive protects you 24/7. So, tell me what happened. Oh, I'm sorry, Gene. Can you give me 1 second? Brush at for every meal. Congratulations and thank you. Sorry about that. I'm back. So tell me about this fender bender.
Contact us 24/7 on the phone, online, or on the mobile app. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
Your back-to-back Big Sky champions Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, October 22nd, for a nationally televised game against the Montana Grizzlies. It's time to pack Hornet Stadium and get loud for the primetime matchup with 2 top nationally ranked teams. Don't miss the excitement of Sacramento State football this season as your Hornets aim for another Big Sky championship. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
New Kia inventory has been arriving at Folsom Lake Kia. Check out the deals on all the new Kia models. You can even buy with 0 down with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your family-owned Kia dealership for over 20 years.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, believing in a better customer experience since 1981. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Woo! Who's flaming?
Ooh.
Hot, that is. The Eagles. With a 26-17 win over the Cowboys, the Eagles are 6-0 for the first time since 2004. Philly has been great at holding a lead this season, becoming the 5th team in the last 35 seasons to not trail in the second half of their first 6 games. 2 of the prior 4 went on to win the Super Bowl.
Oh,
that's pretty good, I would say.
Good.
50% of them.
That is.
Who's not?
I got to guess.
2-2. Here's the pitch. Cronenworth swings, lines it into center field. That's a base hit. Kim will score. Here comes Soto. The throw from Thompson kicks off the mound.
Is that the Dodgers? Is it the Dodgers? Is it the Dodgers? It's the Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers. Oh. Oh. You've been so good.
For the 9th time in the last 10 postseasons. The Dodgers have failed to win the World Series. 9 times.
9 times.
Is it time that we...
It's also the first time the Dodgers have not reached the World Series since winning 111 games.
Is it time that maybe we take away or at least put a fat asterisk on their World Series?
It is not.
Because they won that in a shortened season. And
Yeah.
aren't they kind of proving that they
Some
can't
would say
win?
it was harder to win in that
Well,
season.
some might say that, but they'd be wrong.
No.
Isn't it? Can't we look at it and say, well, every time there's a shortened season, the Dodgers win a World Series championship. But when there's a long season where it's a grind and a marathon, they don't have the ability to do that.
Or do we use your own argument that the long season is proving that the best team doesn't always win, and therefore the Dodgers are getting robbed by the long season?
They did go into the same criteria as everyone else, so they still had to win it the same way.
That's true.
Just, come on.
Come on.
News and notes right now.
Stand by on this frequency.
It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews. Yeah, this is none of those things. Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Jason, I'm sure you're aware of this, but the Guardians and Yankees play in Yankee Stadium Part 2 today at 4:07 our time. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, though.
Okay.
As of 30 minutes ago, the Yankees were still in Cleveland.
What?
The Yankee team plane was in Cleveland. Mechanical failure last night forced them to deboard, get back to the hotel, and then back to the airport for a new plane that arrived today. And according to some Twitter sleuths, they're showing the readout right now on Flight Tracker. Took off 24 minutes ago. So, isn't it weird that they couldn't just call up a private something and fly everyone to New York?
Yes.
Yeah. So they
weird.
Yeah. So they're playing in about 7 hours, which means they'll end up playing probably about 4 to 5 hours after they get home. Anyways,
I don't like that. I don't like that call.
I'll tell you
Not a
this.
very good call.
I'll tell you this much. In baseball playoff history, a team that arrives less than 8 hours to the park from where they came from on the road has never lost. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, Elias Stat, Sports Bureau, thing.
Very unofficial.
Jordan Poole spoke a little bit about the whole Draymond altercation. Here's the audio.
This is the Draymond situation. He apologized, and we plan on handling ourselves that way. We're here to play basketball, and everybody in the locker room and on our team knows what it takes to win a championship, and we're going to do that on the court. I mean, that's really all I have to say. On the manner we're here to win a championship and keep hanging banners.
Okay, well, there's that. Finally, a real crazy ejection yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw this in the NFL. It's one thing to get ejected. It's another to get ejected by your own team. Yeah, Robbie Anderson was ejected from the Carolina Panthers sideline. What a great first week for interim coach Steve Wilkes. Wait, wasn't Steve Wilkes the guy on Jerry Springer, the bald guy?
Steve Wilkos.
Oh. Which would be a great story in itself.
And his own show spun off of that. Yeah,
it was. He got into multiple arguments. That's Robbie Anderson, not Steve Wilkos, with receivers coach Joe Daly. Anderson stepped up to Daly during a heated conversation in the second quarter and again got into it with him in the third. Wilkes had to step in as mediator and then send him off the field. So, anyways, Anderson said at some point, I'm not trying to get traded. I'm here to win a Super Bowl, basically. So, yeah, it's probably not going to. I feel
he'll try.
Yeah. I feel like Rob Anderson's probably going to be moving on here soon.
I think they did need Steve Wilkos in that. Sounds like they need him to break it up.
Would you guys agree that the Carolina Panthers under Steve Wilkes are not going to have the type of resurgence the Philadelphia Phillies had when they let go Joe Girardi?
I agree.
There's a great article, some headline somewhere that's like, Joe Girardi will not save the Phillies, or firing Joe Girardi will not save the Phillies season, whatever it is. Well, it kind of did.
Yes.
Let's see. Today is National Pasta Day.
Oh, there you go.
Jason, your favorite pasta?
Oh, man, so many. Angel hair, fettuccine, tortellini, ravioli.
Okay, so I was going to say this
all in one.
Yeah, it's a super pasta.
I feel like lasagna is kind of cheating because lasagna is really just a vehicle.
Well, it's the dish, right? Because you're just doing that flat, floppy noodle. I don't know.
Flat, floppy noodle. Speaking of Jay,
wow!
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Lord,
I would say ravioli is mine.
I'm already having a difficult day coming off the weekend with the Niners, the Dodgers, and the Kings obviously setting us up for failure.
You know what? Go ahead. Answer the question.
Yeah, I don't even know.
He doesn't want to answer it.
No, thank you for throwing the flag on the play. Jeez,
personal foul, unnecessary noodle assignment on the offense.
That sounds even weirder.
First down, J. Mars. You have a favorite noodle?
We are a progressive society. Yeah, I'm.
How about a pool noodle?
Yeah, there you go. That's a great one. Pool noodle.
Hey, what about noodles used to work here?
Top Ramen. We talked about it last week.
Yes, we did. Today is also, and boy, is this apropos, because I'm on my, considering where I'm on my way to. Today's National Mulligan Day.
All right.
Hey, I'm getting ready to go play this golf tournament.
Shout out, Chris.
I promise you. What?
Chris Mulligan, Warriors legend.
Oh, God. Why? I had Jason.
That got me.
Okay, we're even on the noodle thing.
You're even. Wow.
Anyways, go practice yourself a mulligan today. Not just on the golf course, but in life. You know, it's not too late to say I'm sorry. Back to you, Jason Rodas with Celebrity Birthday.
Dave, back to you. I'm going to ask you this. Last time you were in a celebrity golf tournament, you took a punch from Sugar Ray Leonard. Are you going to allow – I think you should line up as a defensive lineman and try and see if you can stop the bus.
I agree. You should definitely get hit by a bus.
He already hit you with it.
I know.
I backed up. I don't like that call, Jason. That is
not a very good call.
Not a very good call
Be
at
good
all.
for the internet.
Like, at least with Ray, it was all in my face.
Oh, you guys are on that?
Oh, yeah.
Ray. He drops the sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, be my guy, Ray.
Call him Ray Lenz. Just call him up. Hey, buddy. Hey, Ray. How you doing, buddy? That was in the big fat tummy. So, like, I feel like Jerome Bettis would straight up concuss me. Yeah, I get migraines now. Oh my goodness
Hey,
gracious!
you got an equal chance. You can apply a hit.
Although I would say this: last time I saw Jerome, I might be able. I might be. I call him.
My pal Jerome.
I call him Jerry. I might be able to sidestep him coming at me.
Huh.
Just saying.
I think you're underestimating the bus.
He's more like it's like the big Greyhound bus now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a
You're playing with him,
right?
And
you're just extremely agile since quitting smoking.
Quick like a cat.
Reflexes like my mother-in-law's cat.
Attaboy.
Celebrity birthdays.
Happy birthday, guys, on this October 17th to Eminem.
Who is Eminem?
Eminem.
I know.
Marshall
Mathers is. By the way, shouts to the guy on the text line who reminded me that was Chris Cornell and Soundgarden, not Lane Staley. Thank you for the prayer. Yeah. Eminem is 52.
Eminem's 50.
Eminem is 50.
Wow.
Good work, Jay.
Thank you.
How about John Rocker?
Oh, God.
John Rocker is 12. Mentally, physically, John Rocker's 55.
Rock's 53.
John Rocker's 48.
Oh, God.
Screw that guy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Wyclef Jean.
Wyclef.
Oh, Wyclef. Happy 56th birthday, Wyclef.
Wyclef is only 53.
He is 53. Jay is on it.
Jay is on fire.
Happy birthday to Danny Ferry.
Oh, Dan Fairs.
D Fairs. Danny Ferry is 58.
55.
56. And one to go on. We no longer here with us, but he would have been celebrating a birthday today. The great Norm McDonald.
Oh, man. Norm is 57.
60.
63.
Okay, well, on that note, Jim Rome is next. Thanks to Jason. Jay, I'm Dave. See you tomorrow. Go Kings. Bye now. Love you, Norm.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to